Well, good afternoon and hello, kids and cubs, and welcome to the March 2025 edition of the True North Eager Beaver PubCast. Live from Mr. Grizzly.
The Lieutenant's Pump at 361 Elgin Street in beautiful downtown Ottawa.
Ah, lovely. Today, recording day is Saturday, March 22nd, 2025, and it's a, spring day. A little bit of showers, gray, just drizzle, not a heavy rain, but it's a great day here at the Ottawa Beaver Lodge. I am your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver, and as you can see, with me is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly.
He's right here. If I just
yeah, yeah, it makes it sound it looks like we're worlds apart here.
I just figured if I can run three cameras, why not?
Why not? Yeah,
yeah.
We have the tech. Why not? Let's use it. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver. I think I told you that already. Big thank you goes to our podcast founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corbin Moon Publishing, and PsychicTarot.com. Thank you to everyone who is joining us for the PubCast. For those who are new or this is their first one, just so you know, we have a few little house rules, very, very few. One, no politics today. Two, no religion today.
That's it. Everything else is on the table.
Everything
up
else
for discussion.
Yeah, we do that 5 days a week, and this is an opportunity for us to show that politics is not our only identity. That we are rich people with rich people, well-rounded people with rich lives.
That's that. Yeah, that's better. I'm definitely not rich.
Oh boy, it's going to be a day. Well-rounded people.
And we've only just begun.
Yes, although I woke up this morning a little less well-rounded.
Oh.
It seems that I've lost 10 pounds since the beginning of the year.
Well, that's
and
good.
I wanted to start this tennis season at 160 or under, and it looks like it might happen. So, yay me. Intentionally trying to lose weight, of course, because I'd engaged in a lot of comfort eating.
Yeah, it's not something I do really. People say, "Oh, it's a comfort food. It's comfort food," and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just food to me. I think it's in my case because I have, a myriad of food allergies. I'm just going to change the lighting here a little bit if I can see that, because I have so many food. Is that better? Is that better? How about that? Let's stick with that. Because I have so many food allergies, I wanted to reduce that.
Spanish?
I'm sorry?
Are you Mexicano?
No. Sorry. Somebody's looking for somebody, I guess. Yeah, it is a pub after all, so, Anyway, I just see it as food. Comfort food is not really a thing. It's like I have food that I love to eat, just like anybody else, but comfort, I don't know, it's not a thing for me.
I guess not so much comfort food and comfort eating, emotional eating, maybe more than comfort eating, I guess. What might be the proper term that I meant there. But yes, there's been a couple of times over the winter that I tipped the scales just over 170, and that's a little much. So and I'm usually happiest around the 150, mid 150 range. So I still have a little bit extra, but this is the closest in because last year I made an attempt, and for some reason I hit 155 for one day and then shot right back up to 170 2 weeks later for some reason. I don't know how that happened. Yes, hopefully, because I want to start this tennis season off right, and less pressure on the joints as you're running at the beginning of the year when you're maybe not as attuned to running, because curling is not necessarily the most aerobic sport.
True.
So and want to make sure that I'm able to get side to side to make the lateral movements quickly enough. So you got to shed a couple of pounds there if you want to be effective on the court. So, but I'm very much looking forward to the season this year because last year there was some big improvements, and I'm hoping to make big improvements this year. Actually, I've had big improvements in both sports that I play over the last year. Last year when I started the year, for some reason I was like 45% better than I ever was, and for no reason, because I didn't get to play all winter, just watching tennis and thinking about my game and stuff and putting it into practice, and it kind of worked. And the same thing with curling this year. I threw my first 100% game this year, so and I've been making like on the final two shots to the forefoot now and then. I've done it more than once, so or the button, which means I can. If you can do it once, you can do it again. And if you do it again, that means you can get better and maybe start to having it in your arsenal, even though it's not 100% consistent, of course. But pretty proud of myself over the summer and the winter of 2024, early 2025. That my improvement, and hoping that it continues in the same direction, because I have been applying myself, right? It isn't just like, oh, I'm doing the same thing I've always been doing, and wow, this year it's working out. I'm having a good year. I've actually been trying things and bringing in new technique and stuff like that. So, and then going through the rough period when you bring in a new technique and your whole game goes to pot, and then finally it works. So,
I think I can relate to that.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to the season here, and given that where I am. In the Kingston area, all the snow is pretty much melted. We might get an early start to the season. The nets might go up a little early, so I'm very much looking forward to it. There you go.
Cool.
How you doing, Mr. Grizzly? How's your mental health today?
Honestly, I did tossed and turned. I woke up in a funk, in a daze, I guess you could say, and took Lola out. Yeah, so I guess I'm okay. I'm just tired. Probably in need of food and beverages. So I have a ginger ale on the go here because my stomach was troubling me earlier, but feeling better now. So
okay.
I'm okay.
Good. As you may know, Kids and Cubs, I hinted at it a little bit yesterday. Not doing the best at my end. Doing better today.
That's good.
A little better today. Yesterday was a mess again. My beaver sweetie, fortunately, was my hero. Yesterday, I came home from work a little early rather than staying late and catching up on some stuff and maybe going to the gym, and chatted with me a bit and took me out to well, I should say, I was going to say dinner and dessert, but dessert first, and then we decided we had room for dinner, so
Nice.
we ate dessert first. Made the dietitian very displeased and made the dentist happy. But had a and like a nice slow time. They're just taking some time to not wolf it down, just to savor and have some conversation, and of course cuddles make lots of things better. So even though I was pretty low and despondent and very crying all the time and weepy all day long yesterday as well. Woke up this morning feeling a little better. Smiled a couple of times today, which is nice. Laughed once or twice. Still, as you can tell, a bit low energy, right?
Yeah, you're very extra mellow today, which is out of the ordinary for you. I'm like, you all right? Like, you're really mellow right now.
Yeah, I'm a little shaky and fragile, I have to say. Feeling like maybe like one or two crosswords might be enough to send me back. So I'm trying to be very, very, very gentle with myself today as I give the advice, kind and gentle to myself. But yes, didn't have the energy or the mood to make it to town last night. I usually try to come in the night before, which is why I'm a little late, because I came in this morning. But this morning I did have to get up and go, and managed to get here, and a little tougher, but I had confidence that once I would get here, time with my friend and time with the damn fam might do me a lot of good. So here I am, and so not as energetic and peppy as I usually am for podcasts, but wanted some fam time. So
I was going to say, you could have sat the day out if you needed to.
I could have, yeah. I think this will be good for me because there's always so much time you can spend alone ruminating and thinking about stuff, and then
very true.
You just gotta go out. Just sometimes just doing something else, even though you might not have the energy or the will or the want at the beginning, but just doing something else eventually. Stay in the game long enough, right? So I'm struggling, yes, but I don't like this feeling, so I am fighting my way to get out of it. Um, so, so for anybody who's worried, don't worry too much.
You'll be all right. Roll Charlie around. He'll be all right.
Yeah, be okay. But the love and the thoughtfulness and the kind words and all that kind of stuff. And thank you, Mateo. By the way, Mateo sent me a little video. It looked like a sort of like a video game where he was in a car, and he says, like, "I'm driving over here to rescue you, Mr. Beaver. I'm going to give you some hugs and kisses."
Cool.
So,
So
hugs and kisses to you too, Mateo. Thank you so much.
My one earpiece keeps going out on me. I might have to order a new pair. So we have a guest who's about to join us.
Oh, okay.
All the way from Edmonton, Alberta.
Oh, lovely.
Buddy, how you doing?
Hey.
Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
If I was any better, I'd be a twin.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. that brings some happiness. I'm a little shaky, but I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. It's
Good,
warming up. Spring is in the air finally. The snowblower is put away.
Good. How's your mental health doing?
Getting better.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
I had a brief lull. You know that January, February, it's kind of depressing. And
Yeah, and it was rough on me this year. So
yeah, me too. I don't know. I hit a flat spot and then work through it. Get busy.
Yeah.
Keep active. Keep busy. Get up, make your bed, do something, make a list. You don't have to hit everything on it, but do something.
And some days making the bed is a huge accomplishment, right?
It is. You know what? I tell people, you make a list. You don't have to hit everything on that list.
Mm-hmm.
But if you hit one or two things, start with making your bed, you're going to feel better about your life.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Yep.
There were days when, I'd be sitting at home, we'd do the show in the morning, and it's like, oh, okay, I got to take the dog out. And I had to take the dog out, take her for a walk. So it forces me to get out of the house and get some exercise.
Absolutely.
And it helps. It helps, even when you don't have the energy to do it. It's like, well, she has to go out. So I gotta put the socks and the boots on and away I go. So, yeah. It was a rough winter, man. It really was.
It was. And I always tell people too, tackle the worst thing you want to do first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always easy to do the fun stuff, but yeah, you got to go out with a shovel and chip away at that frozen dog shit. Get
It's
after
true.
it. Right. I don't want to do that, but it needs to be done. So let's go. And then save the fun stuff for like later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's true because there was times when I didn't do the dishes for like 2 or 3 days, and it's like, well, I have to do them now because I don't have anything to eat off of now.
They don't do themselves.
But yeah, great winter. I did get out skiing though once. So
did you? Good.
Yeah. Well, I was in Lake Louise back in
nice.
December.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was great. Conditions were good too.
I rented my basement all winter. It looks like a pub now.
Oh, does it? Yeah, because you had started when I was there last year. But.
Yeah, it's so now it's like any project. It's the last 5%. So it's 95% is the longest. It's all this little finishing shit jobs you don't want to do. Like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. So like baseboards and putting DAP where the nail holes are and just little things. But other than that, bathroom's good, bar's set up, fireplace is on the wall, TV works. It is fully functional. I got my Golden Tee golf machine because you can't have a basement pub without one.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that, and so it's good to go. But it's like this little shit that just takes forever and ever and ever.
It's always the little minuscule things, right?
It is.
They add up, and then they get on your nerves. And it's like, I have one tiny project I have to do at home, and I keep looking at it. And I have an audio cabinet, and I have 2 amplifiers on one side, and they both weigh like 80 pounds.
Yep.
So it started to warp one of the shelves. So I put a 1x1 underneath it to balance it. But I'm like, I'm just going to buy rack rails, mount the rack rails in because they're rack mountable industrial amps.
Right.
So I bought the rails and I'm like, oh, shit, it's too wide, which means I have to put wood on either side. So I'll have to sand it, measure it, paint it, cut it, and make it precise so that the units will actually slide into the rack. I'm like, oh. Every day I look at it and go, nope, not today.
No, and I get that. Sometimes like, I don't want to do this. It's just too much.
Yeah. We've had the same thing. We've been, I think, 3 years now in renovations. We're done the main projects. Unfortunately, there's a couple of others that we have to take on. And the last little bit there was just some stuff sitting there because it sort of becomes like house Tetris, right? It's like everything out of one room and is in another room, and then you're obstacle coursing out of that room, and then you fix up that room and you move the stuff, and then you realize that, oh yes, well, since we're at it, we might as well buy a new this. So now you're assembling a piece of furniture, and then you're taking that one, and it's just we and then it's, oh, Black Friday. Hey, well, since we're getting a new bed, let's get a new mattress.
Let's get this.
Yeah.
But we won't be able to set up the bed until January. That's okay. We'll just leave the mattress in the hallway like for 3 months. And it's just like, oh God, because the floor's not done. So you can't make the bed. So
a little bit of hell.
Yeah. So it's been, but now, like, all the floor space in our house is actually our floor space and not occupied by something that used to be in another room that needs to go back.
But let me ask you this. The hardest part about doing a renovation, especially a basement, is now you have all this shit you need to get rid of. You've been carrying around for like decades.
And you've got
an unfinished basement is a junk room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I'm opening up boxes like, there's my grade 7 yearbook. Like, do I need
That's
this?
where it went. And then you stop, and then of course, since the yearbook, right? You haven't seen 30 years. You like sit there and you open, you rifle through.
I can't get rid of this. I can't get rid of this. I might want to look at it later.
Oh, so you might want to look at it later. See, I stop and I look at it now. Oh, I haven't seen this in a while. And then the rest of the day, right?
I fed the fire pit this year. Like,
oh, did you?
If you haven't used this or touched this in 10 years, you do not need this in your life. So, but it's hard to let go of shit. You know, like everybody who's watching right now, you got a bunch of listeners and viewers and stuff. They know exactly what I'm talking about. They got a basement full of fucking shit they do not need.
Yep.
So I had to get rid of it because the way my basement's designed, there's no real storage space. I built a spare room down there. It's like under the stairs where the Christmas tree goes. That's it. Christmas decorations. I had to get rid of a ton of stuff that I've been toting around for like 30 years. When you move, I've lived in this house 16 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But I had boxes that I've moved from apartment to house to house. It's just like fucking, and then you start going through it and like, oh, Battleship. That was a fun game back in the day. I'm going to get rid of this. So I got rid of a lot of stuff.
Well, being a military brat, I moved a lot. So we moved, let's see, we went from Toronto to Cold Lake to Trenton to Gander to Ottawa to Chatham, New Brunswick to Bagotville. And then when we went back to Chatham, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm moving back to Ottawa. So all those moves, all those years, you accumulate stuff, but you move and things get lost left, right, and center, right?
Oh,
so it's like you go look at. So then somebody has moved as much as I have in my life, and I've been in the same place for 15 years now. It's like I accumulated a lot of stuff, and I go down and I look at my storage locker, and I'm like, oh Jesus.
No, and I got a roommate now. My buddy Dave. My best friend, I've served in Afghanistan with him. He was my boss. Now I got all his shit here. He's got a sea can, because it's cheaper to rent a sea can than a storage unit.
Right.
And it is full of stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So he's been getting rid of a lot of stuff. And like all his bedroom furniture, it's like shit your grandmother had. Like it looked like it came over on the Titanic. Like, what is this? Why do you have this, man? And we're moving his stuff, and because it's all solid wood, it weighs like 900 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
that's sort of mid 60s or late mid 40s to late.
Yeah, no, he's got
60s.
It's got this modern big headboard. This headboard's in my garage right now. We're trying to get rid of it. It's got like a fucking mirror on it. It's with drawers and stuff.
Jeez.
There was a big thing back in, I think, the late 50s to early 60s where modern Danish furniture was the thing, but it was all made out of solid teak.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But it weighs 8 tons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great until you have to move it.
Oak. Like, oh my God.
It's sturdy and will last forever, but try moving it.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. So Dave's got a lot of stuff, and I get it. He has a hard time letting go because he grew up poor.
Yeah.
Like he grew up in Parksville. He had nothing. His family had nothing. Right.
Yep.
Like Dave would go to the park and ducks would throw bread at him. That's how fucking broke he was.
That's broke.
I keep on saying we was Poe, P-O apostrophe, because we couldn't afford the O-R at the end.
Right.
It was just Poe.
So yeah, it was tough for him to let go. Now I'm like, hey Dave, you're good. You got lots of money. You're retired. Fucking, he's in St. Lucia right now. So I'm getting rid of all of his shit while he's gone.
Yeah. That was something that was tough for me to learn, actually, because when not so much the hoarding, but it's sort of like when you don't have money, you grow up without money, and then you start to have a little. It's sort of like, well, I can spend the money on this, or I can spend the money on that, and everything just seems like a frivolous expense because you already have it, or it still works, or like, and then you have it, and you think, well, I might need this one day. So you say because you don't
what it is,
because you don't want to buy another one, but then you haven't used it in 5 years.
So you throw it out
like this, and then you progress in your career,
and you need it.
You advance, exactly. Yeah, but you advance and you make more money and stuff like that, and and then you realize it's like, well, listen, I haven't used it in 10 years, and if ever I need to use it again, I have enough money to buy another one now, right?
Yeah,
but that's that's a mindset shift. Like if you grew up with nothing, you don't let anything go.
Exactly. Well, that's what it was, and for me, it was so bad that. I would not take taxis under any circumstance. I could be looking at the bus schedule and say, I am going to be 10 minutes late. And I know that being 10 minutes late is going to make me look bad. And it's like, but I just could not in my head justify $20 for the taxi because the bus is just $2. Until like later on in my career, when I started realizing that this is now affecting how you come across at work.
Right.
And it's sort of like, just spend the money.
Splurge.
Money is convenience when you happen to have it like this. You buy convenience, you buy time, you buy like this. I mean, if you're going to spend it wisely, make your life better, try to buy some convenience or time. But it's like, but it took me forever, ever to try and figure that out.
I remember you just reminded me of a story. So this is like 1990 in Edmonton. I'm in the Army. We had no fucking money because we didn't get paid shit. Mm-hmm. Me and my buddy were downtown drinking, and we had like $20 left. So we got two choices: we can get a cab, or we can buy another 2 beers each and walk back to the base, which is like 15 kilometers.
Yep.
And you bet your ass we drank the last.
We know how to walk 15 kilometers.
Exactly, man. We were like 19, 20 years old, whatever.
Yeah.
We walked all the way back.
It's like, we don't even have anything on our backs this time. Let's go.
I can't really relate for everybody, but like downtown Edmonton up to where the base is a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walked it. It was winter too. It wasn't nice though. Fuck it. We're gonna have one more beer and then we'll walk home.
Us, when you were talking about the basement, us, it's the garage where we are because we brought the stuff in that we needed immediately and then put the rest of stuff in the garage because we knew we were going to do a couple of renovations. I think I have a suitcase somewhere in there that still has clothes that I have not seen in 4 years. That I have not unpacked yet. It's like I'm gonna. But when I do, it's like assuming they still fit. It's gonna be I went shopping.
Do you guys
a new wardrobe again?
Find it impossible to get rid of clothing? Like I haul every year like a garden sized garbage bag full of shirts and shit. I take it down to Goodwill.
Yeah,
and now I'm like, it looks like nothing's changed. Like, are these things reproducing on their own in my closet? Like, why do I have 8,000 friggin' t-shirts still? It doesn't matter when I get rid of it. It's just like it's still like packed.
My
I wear the same. I wear the same 5 things. That's
Well, I would get working like insane 18, 20-hour days, right? And that would go on sometimes for 3-4 weeks to a month. Yeah. And then you dial it down to 12 hours a day. And what you're finding is you're working 7 days a week, insane hours. You don't have time to do laundry.
Mm-hmm. No.
And I know I could put it in a bag and drop it off at a laundromat and they'll do it for me. But I was never comfortable with that. So I just go to Winners and buy some shirts, buy some socks, buy some underwear.
So rather than do laundry, you just go buy more shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
you got to change that.
Here's my first sock drawer. Here's the second sock drawer. Here's the third sock drawer.
I've long since changed that. That's many years ago, but it was like, oh, this is bad. This is not good. No.
Yeah.
And then the pile of socks that have no partners. I think it just gets bigger and bigger.
It'll
show up eventually.
Maybe it's lots of those. The single. I got OCD though. I can't handle that. Like I lose my mind.
I'm the same way. It's like, oh no, it's got to go. It's got to go.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's got. If there's only one.
I can't like you see people at some fashion trend wearing mismatched socks.
Yeah,
I fucking lose my mind. There's no way.
Nope, not happening. I can't do it. I can't.
No, there's no way.
It's like I have a couple of shirts with patterns on them, and it's not something I would buy. I bought one as a gag. I bought one for this party where it was supposed to be a loud shirt thing, and then another one Bridget gave to me, and I'm like, I'm not really a pattern guy because they give me a headache, right? It's just,
You're staring at your shirt too much.
Well, so she says, but if you're wearing it, do you see it? And I'm like, yeah, good point. Right? If I have it on, I don't see it, so it doesn't bother me. But I tend not to buy it because if I'm in the store and I see it, I'm kind of like.
If you stare long enough, do you see like a lion? Remember those?
Yeah,
those fucking pictures in the in the 90s. It was this thing, and so my parents bought me one. I had it hanging out in this house, and me and three other army guys rented, and I was the only guy who could not see this fucking wolf. It was just this thing on my wall. Everybody's. Well, if you stare at it long enough, you're going to see a wolf. And I'm like, no,
I know what you mean.
Not me.
I did finally see it once. Do I need to
squint and cross my eyes a little bit?
Yeah. Everybody and his dog would walk in and they'd look at this thing and like, oh, I could see it. I'm like, fuck you, get out of here.
I don't see a thing. Yeah.
Get out.
People would tell me, oh, it's right there like that. I don't see what.
No. Yeah. I eventually threw it in the dump. I'm like, I'm so sick of people coming over here and seeing this wolf
that I can't see.
To me, it looks like blue Christmas wrapping paper on my wall. It's stupid. I'm getting rid of this thing.
That was a huge trend for a while too. They were in the newspaper.
For like a month.
Yeah.
I got this black and white shirt that sort of looks like a mime shirt, and every now and then I just like wear it on and then jump up and down. Like, please do not adjust your set.
Oh my God.
For those who are old enough to remember vertical hold.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Every now and then I'll see like a newscaster wearing a green dress, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're going to go in front of a green screen and do the weather?
Well, I mean, you don't wear green on camera because people will Photoshop the shit out of it.
That's true.
Oh, and green's my favorite color.
Just don't wear it. Don't wear it on the live production, man. It's just not a good idea. Not a good idea. So, how's the weather there right now, bud?
You know what? It's starting to warm up.
Yeah,
good.
We had this false
spring
a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, fucking right on. It's done. I'm putting the snowblower. I bought this electric snowblower. It's awesome. I put it away, and then boom, we got pounded. I'm like, I'm so depressed, man. So the city finally actually cleared out. I'm in a cul-de-sac, right?
Yeah.
And like you just run out of room, so everybody shovels their shit out to the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you got nowhere else to put it.
Right.
You were like backing uphill to get out of your driveway. It's a good thing I got being in Alberta, I wear camouflage and drive a pickup truck, of course. Yeah. So they finally cleared it. And that was the third time in 16 years that the city of Edmonton actually cleared it out.
Wow.
Okay.
It was like, wow, you guys actually cleared it out. So now it's warming up. It's like +8 today.
Oh, wow. It's warmer there than it is here.
Oh, yeah.
What is it there?
Well, the other last week it was like on Wednesday it was 15, and then Thursday it was like -10, which is like
actually I was in Dominican a few weeks ago, and I had to lay over in Toronto, and as we were landing in Toronto, there was snow. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah,
and it was cold, buddy. It was right after that big storm came through Toronto,
right?
And I couldn't believe it was warmer in Edmonton than in Toronto. Like we were over there overnight.
Of course,
because I'm going to Dominican, I just got a lightweight jacket on, like fucking freezing my ass off. I was hacking in dark, going, "Oh man, I want to go get out of here."
Yeah, it's about 5 here now at the moment, but it's gray and drizzly. So
yeah, it's not. It's not pleasant.
But hey, you guys are down at the Lieutenant's Pump. You're having a good time.
Exactly.
It's drizzly outside and grizzly inside.
Oh, she's blue and sunny today. Snow's melting quick. Good one.
Well, most of the snow here is gone, other than like some big snowbank areas. Most of it is gone. But the outdoor rink last Friday morning, I took the dog out for a walk, and I go, "Ooh, that's a great sheet of ice. I should strap the skates on and go for a little rip there before she's done."
Yep.
And then it went up to like 8 degrees, and I went, well, it's slush now. And on Sunday night, it was gone. It was gone by Sunday night. Yeah. And there must have been about a good 6 to 8 inches of ice, and it was
there's no skating on the canal now, right? That's good.
No, it closed about 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay, but we got 52 days this year, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's 52 days is great. It was a good season in the ice. The whole thing was open from start to finish.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I went out on a couple times, and the conditions were actually really good. So
I brought my skates down twice, but both times I came, it was like minus 20 something. And normally that's not that bad if there's no wind, but it was brutal wind on top of that.
Yeah, that's too much.
I did not get on the ice once this year.
I got in at arenas and stuff like this. I've been skating more this year than I had in the last 4 years combined, but it's always been like at open skates at arenas or like indoor and outdoor sort of, or like arenas, indoor arenas and outdoors sort of with the boards. For those play hockey, but I didn't get on the canal, unfortunately.
The most hockey I played in the last 5 years is during COVID, because it's pretty much the only thing you could go do.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played
outdoor rink. Let's go.
COVID. Yep. Honest to God, I haven't played since COVID.
I don't think I have either.
Prior to that, I was playing, a couple of times a week, and then it just nope.
I missed lockdown. That was like the best time of my life.
There was a part of it that I do. There's a part of it that I do miss. I'm not going to lie.
I think we should do it once a year, every May, full lockdown.
Yeah, just for the month.
Right? Like, you didn't have to go to anybody's fucking house. Nobody could come over to your house. Like, I just got a new TV because it was my birthday in March.
Yeah. Maybe not May. My birthday's in May. I want people to come.
I'm like, this is fucking great. I got laid off, and they give me a huge package. And it was beautiful weather. Like, we're locked down. Like, this is awesome, man. Like, I get it. Some people really screwed with their heads and stuff. Like, I had a buddy who lived in a condo, and he has like 17 kids from 3 different wives. So he was losing his shit. I got this giant house, right, that I kept when I got divorced. I'm like, big yard, beautiful deck. I went to the liquor store and bought 13 cases of Pilsner because I thought they were going to close the liquor stores, which they didn't. And I'm like, I'm good to go. This lockdown shit is friggin' awesome, man. Like, and then when it was over, like, oh, now people want to come over.
Me too. Was when it started. I thought, I've been working for myself for like X number of years, whatnot. It's like I was built for this. Let's go.
Society is.
I was surprised by how much, how long it didn't take too long before it's like, okay, now I need to see people a bit. but for the most part, I liked it.
It did. I loved it, but that's like so wrong. I mean, I think back to like, the 70s and 80s as a kid. People would come over, they just walk in your house.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Or they would phone you. And now it's like, if your phone rings, you're like, why are you calling me? Why didn't you text me
first? Yeah.
If
you're going to call, text first. I might be busy.
Now if somebody rings your doorbell, like you're looking for a gun.
It's like, why is
someone at my door? If you're not Amazon, fuck you, get out of here.
Yeah, I don't remember ordering anything.
So different, man. You used to be so excited. Like, buddy across the street would come over, just walk in the house. Hey, what's going on? Like Kramer on Seinfeld.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now everybody's like freaked the fuck out if the doorbell rings or if your phone rings. Oh my god! The planet. If I was an alien, I'd get to Earth like you're doing reconnaissance. I'd be on the radio going, no, not this place. These guys are fucked.
These guys are fucked.
Keep going.
It's like I remember like when I was a kid knocking on someone's door. It's like, can Johnny come out and play? And it's like, no, make a play date.
What? The first time I heard, we'll have a play date. I'm like, what is that? Well, you make plans to play.
Yeah.
We used to just do it.
You just did it.
We just did it.
We did, like, I look at, so I don't know how many people that are watching or listening have kids, but so when I was 12 years old in Calgary, we had a bus pass because or like 13, like junior high, right? So I had to take the city bus to school.
Right.
And, but you could use this bus pass whenever.
In
the 80s, your parents didn't give two shits what you're doing.
Just make sure
we were all over downtown, like
make sure your little brother
gone, man. And you just came home when it was dark or whenever.
Yeah.
And now, like, if I had a fucking 12-year-old kid, that I found out was downtown, I would be losing my shit.
Oh yeah.
Like no scenario. There was no Find My Phone, like where you can track wherever. There's none of that. You just gone.
You're just gone.
When I was a kid, my cousin and I, we used to do that every now and then. Just like, get up at 9:00 in the morning. Yeah, we're in Ottawa. Let's go tour the museums. We're going to go to them. The currency museum and this museum like this, and we're gone all day and riding the buses and no idea when we're going to be back. No. We're just gone.
Yeah, just went.
And like there was this, it came out in the on the news and stuff in Calgary. This guy Charles Ng, he was like the fucking most wanted FBI serial killer rapist dude, hanging out in Fish Creek Park in Calgary, which is where I lived.
Jesus,
like right beside it. And Dad's like, yeah. There's a serial killer living down there. You kids just don't go there.
Don't go there.
Okay, whatever. Like that was it.
Force field.
That was that was the 80s, man.
Yeah.
Like he won't come out. You just don't go there.
Yeah. They didn't give two shits what we were doing.
Well, the other thing too, back in those days, there'd be a rumor about somebody being a bit of a, somebody who liked children. We'll put it that way. Okay.
Yeah. Creepy. Yeah.
One of those, and you knew, and what would your parents say? Just stay away from Mr. So-and-so. Not like we should report him to the police or just stay away from him. Different times, man.
Different times, man. Yeah, I don't have any kids, but if I did, they sure as fuck would not be doing what I was doing.
No.
When I was 12, 13.
Growing up here in Ottawa from 80 to 84, from 82 to 84, I went to St. Pius X High School.
Yeah.
So they gave us city bus passes.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
So we just went wherever we went.
Wherever you wanted to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And your parents didn't give a shit. It's like, that's what you do.
But just as long as you're home for supper.
You. Well, even then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was completely different. Like I couldn't even imagine like a 12-year-old kid wandering around like downtown Edmonton. I don't know about Ottawa. Is friggin' bad boys.
Seriously, I don't know how I'm still alive, to be totally honest, because I mean, I had the thing because I grew up in a foster home and we're like 5 boys, right?
Okay.
And boys are trouble. So I figured out very quickly that if I was the good one, nobody would ever ask me where I am, where I'm going, what I'm doing. Got good grades, was very responsible, and teachers never called saying that we have an issue like this. So while they're handling the other 4, okay, I'm going to go to Montreal for 2 weeks. Okay. It's like, God.
Nice.
Like where you didn't ask where I was staying, didn't ask what I was going to do.
Just going.
Yeah, just go. It was like we never have any problems with Douglas. So it was like whatever he wants to do, just let him do it. Oh my God.
I was the opposite of that.
I could have wound up in the freezer, left, right, and center.
The teachers always called mostly just to tell my parents that I wasn't applying myself.
Yeah, yes. I used to get that too.
He needs to apply himself more. I'm like,
he's a bright student, but he needs to apply himself.
It's funny now that I just turned 54 and now I like learning more than I ever did in my life. I did shitty in school. It was horrible.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find some photos I took the other day. I live really close to Lieutenant's Pump and there's a park right next to it.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah. It's
I can't live near a watering hole anymore. I could tell you some horror stories.
Well, it's about 150 meters from my front door.
How can you do it?
Pull out the car.
That's amazing that you can do that because I lived downtown for a while, which sucked driving to the base and back.
Yeah.
And there was this bar. It was called Martini's Bar and Grill. Like literally 3-minute walk from my apartment. Ran around the corner. I was like fucking Norm on Cheers, man. Like everybody knew me. I knew all the staff and the owner, and the owner Jerry at the time. He's a fucking alcoholic. And I remember one day they closed the bar. I would sit there and drink with all the staff. Suddenly the sun was coming up and there's people walking past with briefcases and shit.
You're like
going to work. I'm like, I got to make some life changes, man. I got to go home and I have to get to the base, right? I've been drinking. It's like 7, 8 a.m.
You were after hours clubbing before it was cool.
So then I went to Bosnia. When I came back, I moved. This fucking little town in the middle of nowhere. Like I cannot live near a bar I like drinking in.
Oh,
it's not smart.
I get that. I'll come over and sometimes I'll just have like a Guinness Zero,
Oh, does Guinness make a zero?
Oh yeah, it's really good too. Yeah, it's really good.
Did you
Guinness Zero, Corona Sunbrew is another good one.
So Corona's the best. I did a dry February a couple months ago because asshole radio host buddy of mine said, you can't quit drinking. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm in the army. We quit drinking all the time. Like the minute you deployed, you quit drinking.
Right.
So I said, fucking screw you. And I did it. So now I'm going through all the fake beers.
Yeah.
Right.
And that Budweiser Prohibition is the worst. Like I took whatever I had left and put a shotgun round through it. It was horrible. And the best I had, because the Corona didn't exist, was the Coors Edge.
Oh, yeah? I haven't had that one.
But here's what I learned. For all you people that are considering quitting drinking, you better have money, because that shit costs more money than the beer I actually buy.
I know.
Like I buy a case of Pilsner. It is way cheaper than fake beer.
Yeah.
And in the bar, they charge you the same price for a fake beer as they do a real one. Right. So I spent more money in February than I would have been being a regular alcoholic than I am. I'm like, I need to go back to drinking because I can't afford to not.
A 4-pack of Guinness Zero costs 5 cents more than a regular 4-pack of Guinness.
That's absolutely insane.
Right? It's crazy.
But you didn't get the booze, so what are you paying more for?
And people were like, well, Chris, why
scarcity.
Why are you drinking that much? Like I drank the same amount of fake beer as I would normally. Like I just like to drink beer. I don't drink for a fact. I drink because I like beer.
I don't drink soda, right? I like beer. I had a ginger ale today.
Yeah.
That's the first soda I've had in probably 8 months. Yeah. It's not my thing. I don't like the sugar. I had a ginger ale because my stomach was off. I'm fine now. So
yeah, I had to shut that dry February shit down because I couldn't afford it. It was too much.
Was that Jimmy?
I had to go back to drinking.
Was that Jimmy who gave you that challenge?
No, it was Locke.
Oh, Locke. Okay. I haven't talked to Locke in a while. I should give him a shout. I sent him an invite if he wanted to join today. But
he's doing AM sports radio in
Regina.
Like, so it's like you talk about the Rough Riders 5 days a week for 4 fucking hours. Like, come on, man. Oh my God. I listened to it once. I tuned in. I'm like, I want to hear what these guys talk about in Regina, Saskatchewan, which is, and I lived in Regina as a kid. I was born in Saskatchewan, not raised there. And Regina sucks, man. Like it's not the greatest city in Canada. Saskatoon's nice.
At one point in time, Regina had the highest crime rate and gang problems in the country.
I think Winnipeg's
since usurped
that scale. Winnipeg's a rough town, man.
It is.
When I was in Shiloh, Manitoba, in the army. There was a base there, which is right outside of Brandon, which is another real great town.
Bridget used to live there.
That's right. So on the weekends, we would rip her into Winnipeg, right? And it's a rough town, man.
Oh yeah,
it's a rough city. It's really nice though. It's too bad, like down by the Forks in downtown. Yeah. In their bank district, they got a lot of good music comes out of Winnipeg.
A lot of good music.
A lot of good music comes out of Winnipeg, but it's just a fucking rough city. I got a friend there; he's a cop there, and he's like, "Yeah, this is a rough place."
Well, it was like when I was in Edmonton last summer and we hung out there. I got myself in an Airbnb, $50. Hey, not bad.
Oh, I remember this. He's in the friggin' ghetto, man.
I checked into the place and I'm like, "That's a crack house next door."
Yep. When Paul gave me the address, I
was like, "Well, it's a close walk to the stadium." He's like, "Don't stay there."
I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, stay here." And he did. He's like, "Don't go back there. You're gonna get stabbed."
Well, I get back and I'm like, "Is my catalytic? Is my buddy's truck too?" So I get in, I start it up, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay. Catalytic's still there."
Oh yeah, we got a catalytic converter theft problem here.
Yeah, jeez.
I don't know. The situation is really bad, and this city council is fucking garbage. Like they don't have a clue. They're more worried about art projects. There's an $800,000 pile of pinball marbles on the side of the fucking white mud. It's like, what? This is where you're, and then you hit a pothole they can't fix.
Yeah.
And you got crazy homeless people downtown, which I know every city does.
But there's a huge camp out right behind the ice district.
I know. And guess what? Guess what's right down the road? The old Remand Center.
Okay, yeah.
Which is still being heated.
Mm-hmm. And they won't put people in it.
No, the stigma because it used to be a jail. I'm like, fucking better than being on the street.
Yeah.
Take the bars off the doors. You got a fully functional kitchen, showers, toilets, everything you could house. I don't know how many people it houses, like say 600 guys or something. And it's just sitting there. And it's got heat and power to it because they have to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking not being used.
That's stupid.
It's
you could get people off the streets into a safe environment, right?
It just boggles the mind, man. And like, it's scary. It's, there's two types of homeless people. There's that harmless one that stays out of the way and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's these fucking crazy guys that are ranting and raving and lighting people on fire and assaulting people. It's dangerous downtown Edmonton.
And those folks need help. And when
they do need help, it's just not there.
It's not there. That's the problem. And that's why it just keeps the problem just keeps getting bigger. And when I was walking through that area to the Ice District,
yeah,
I went to meet you at, was it Sherlock Holmes? Is that where we met?
Yep.
So I stopped. I met with Locke for a bit, and then went and met with you. And walking through, well, you know where I was staying, but walking through that area, and I'm like, holy shit,
it's rough. Vancouver is getting the worst, though.
Yeah.
Vancouver is like, I remember it was all contained. If anybody's ever been to Vancouver, you know where East Hastings is. And it was contained to this like block. Now it's like friggin' everywhere, man. Yeah. It's really, really bad. And they've got stabbings and shit going on there. Like, it's all out of control. And like, okay, so BC's answer is, well, we're just going to decriminalize friggin' heroin and everything. Like, how's that working out?
Didn't work out for
no. It's just a friggin' nightmare.
I think nightmare. They realized it, but I don't think they did all the other stuff that Portugal did to make sure that people were well.
They had no program,
right? Exactly. That was the problem. You got to follow through with the whole thing. You can't go, oh, we're just going to do this. They only did that to free up the friggin' court system.
Yeah.
Right. Just to declog the backlog. So it's like, oh, rather than deal with it, a misdemeanor, whatever, possession of cocaine or whatever, we'll just fucking don't worry about it. Now they got this massive problem. I don't know. I don't have the answers to shit like that.
Well, I hear you.
That's why I hide in my house.
But it's like you say, you have to do the full job. If you could, it's like you can't do half the job.
You're right, and they didn't do that. They didn't do it, so it's shitty.
Yeah,
shitty situation.
Yeah,
indeed.
It's like you make the correct first decision, but then you set it up for
failure. Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, just to get the backlog in the courts free, and I'm like, okay, now
that's what they did. It was just to ease the strain of the thing, but like that's not even putting a Band-Aid on the problem. That's just pushing the problem over to the side. Exactly. I'll fucking hide under a pile of coats and hope it all works out. That was what they did, and it didn't work out. And now what are you gonna do? Because it's worse.
Yeah, because I'm sure if you asked like the average person, well, it's like, if somebody has an illness, then yes, I don't want them to go to jail because they're sick. But also nobody wants to walk out of their home and
be accosted right away.
Clutch their handbag closer either. Right. So it's just, you got to do the full job.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm glad I don't live in Vancouver.
The weather's nice, I'm told, but
the weather's nice. I can't handle rain though, man.
That's the rain I couldn't.
Depressed. Yeah. I got stuck on Vancouver Island a couple of years ago. Like, it was socked in, no flights could come in and out. I was working, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. It's freaking raining all the time, and it's cold, like that damp, wet shit.
It's like you're in the UK.
I'm just getting depressed. Yeah, it's like the UK all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll take friggin' 30, 40 below and blue sky in Alberta over a month of rain.
Yeah.
And just misery. I'm like, no wonder you guys are all smoking dope out here. Every joint in your body that's ever been injured aches, right?
Aches constantly.
Yeah. And I got a lot of fucking broken body parts.
Yeah, tell me about it.
My previous career. And it's just depressing. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck off this island. I was flown out on company dime, and I found a cheap flare air or whatever one way out of Victoria, and I was up in Nanaimo to Edmonton for like $125. I'm like, I'm out of here. Bye. Paid it and get me out of here. I need to be not here.
Flare air. I haven't heard of that forever.
Did they get bought up by WestJet?
No, so Swoop was the discount one that WestJet owned.
Right.
And Flare is its own thing, and Flare can go kiss my ass.
Apparently they're terrible, I'm told. I've never flown.
Absolutely horrible. Like, their whole system and how they do baggage is like this yellow sticker thing or whatever. And you check in. Oh, and they're the only airline that doesn't let veterans have free baggage. So
really?
You know who I like?
Porter,
Porter. That is, if any, Porter is the friggin' awesome.
Yep. It really is.
I got to go
right.
Yep.
They give you drinks. They give you food.
Free drinks, free food, and it's good food. And it's 2 seats because of the aircraft type. There's no middle seat. Absolutely, porter is outstanding. I'm lucky because I got to go to Fredericton in August, and I booked it. And it's porter from here to Ottawa to Freddie on porter. I'm like, nice, because flying sucks. It's like I was watching this documentary the other day on like flying in the 50s versus flying today.
Oh God,
man, you're just treated like cattle.
Yep.
It's just horrible.
It's brutal. Well, when I flew,
it's a horrible
to Calgary back in December, I had a direct flight from Ottawa to Calgary, and the flight home was Calgary to Toronto, Toronto to Ottawa, and it was porter. So it was a direct flight there and a hopper on the way back. My whole flight, all taxes in return, $280.
That's on porter. That's a good deal, man.
That's a great deal. Dude, I couldn't drive to Toronto and back for that much money.
Nope. I give porter, like, I hate traveling these days because I think airlines all suck. Except I love porter.
Yeah, I think
they are really good, and they were getting these shitty ass reviews.
Yeah,
because the first time I flew with them, they didn't lose my luggage coming back. Okay, I flew out to film the Niagara Wine Fest or whatever.
Yeah.
So I got like $6,000 worth of gear, and you're only insured. They only cover you up to like $2,500.
Right.
And of course they lost my shit, but that wasn't porter. That's GT. That's YYZ or sorry, Toronto Airport Pearson. They lost my luggage, not fucking porter. Don't yell at the airline. They didn't lose your shit.
No.
Right. Yeah.
And porter got it within 24 hours and drove it all the way from the airport to my house. Boom, here's your shit, sir. Thank you very much. No, big shout out to them. Fly with them any chance you get. There's my advice to you kids out there listening.
Yeah, we took a Porter Canada 150. We went to Newfoundland, so we took it to St. John's, and I think we
do they fly to St. John's?
Yeah. And I think we got it like for 400 or something.
Wow,
just ridiculously good price, and like I said, exceptionally good service.
I went to St. John's 1 year ago, last March. Got a really good deal, and now I know why.
Oh,
don't go to Newfoundland in March, man.
No. Oh, in March,
it's fucking horrible.
It's not the time to go.
Us, it was July.
This is on the ass end of that snowstorm they had. It was like 7 feet of snow in people's front yards, and it was windy as shit. And my buddy Rick out there, he's like, "Hey, do you want to go up to Signal Hill and see all this shit?" I'm like, "Fuck no, man! It's fucking terrible here." I could see why we got such a cheap deal because no one goes to Newfoundland in March
unless you have to. Usually,
I got screeched in. I kissed the cod, did all that shit. It was awesome. It was a great
up and down George Street.
Yes, sir. Well, we went to like one bar.
Oh, okay.
And we looked at the rest. I'm like, no, let's just go back to your place and drink. It was cheaper, and it was the weather was shitty. I went to the Legion, which was really cool.
Okay.
Because I had to hit the Legion, right?
Yeah.
And I had a good time, but. No, don't go there in March. I can see why it's expensive to go there in August because that's when it's nice.
Yeah, we were
like, you don't want to go look at an iceberg. I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to look at an iceberg, man. I don't care about that. Get me inside. It's raining sideways, bro.
Well, and it's damp too, right?
And
so
damp,
you feel like you're in the UK again.
Yeah, I couldn't warm up. I'm like, and I loved it there, but I'm not. Next time I go there, it's going to be like summer, not March.
Yeah.
We were there in July, and I think we were there 10 days. And it didn't rain once. Like on the day we left, it was a little drizzly.
Oh, you lucked out
in Bonavista.
Douglas, you lucked out, buddy.
Yeah, but then the fog thing. Well, exactly. We're saying like, oh my god, it's so gorgeous here, and everyone's don't get used to it. Don't get used to it.
I love Newfoundlanders, man. Those are like the most. You got to be a hard human. Like, so I do all these Newfies in the military, right? There's a lot of Newfoundlanders in the army, and they're fucking hard, man. And now I know why. To live on that rock, like, geez, you got to be fucking hardcore, man, to live there.
Yep. It's not for the faint of heart. That's for sure.
They're some of the finest people I can tell you I ever met in my life.
Yeah.
They're Newfoundlanders for sure.
Yep. It was a gorgeous trip. And then we got to. I saw something in the newspaper. I think that the Atlantic, what do they call it? Main Atlantic. Oh, darn, the ferry service from from our Argentia to that one. There's a sale going on right now, or something that you can. They're doing that to try to promote tourism within Canada.
That's the long ferry too, the Argentia ferry. That's like from
is that
North Sydney.
But does that go to the west side of the? Because it's a long go. Because all my buddies are around St. John's, right? So
it's closer to St. John's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. So that's why it's a long ferry. Because back.
Yeah. So we had took the plane to St. John's, and then we took the ferry up to Cape Breton, and then bussed down to Halifax. Like we did all 4 Atlantic provinces, right?
Nice.
Like this, and then then we went to Prince Edward Island, and then went camping in Fundy National Park and New Brunswick. And then spent some other time in New Brunswick, and then came back home. So it was this great trip, but because of the again Porter, they allowed us to buy a ticket to St. John's, and then coming back from Moncton.
That's all right.
So, right. So we just bought like 2 separate ones. It was a gorgeous trip. I think we were there like 5 full weeks in total.
I planned a trip like that, didn't work out. So here's what happened. It was 2003. I was on leave coming back from Bosnia, so I had to go to a buddy's wedding up in North Bay. So I did that, and this is when SARS happened. So I couldn't land in Pearson. We landed in Montreal, and it was a friggin' gong show to eventually get up to North Bay. And I had 2 weeks left, so I went to Halifax because a friend of mine was posted there. He was a navigator on a Sea King, ex-Army guy, went Air Force. Yeah, no, I got to go on the Sea King, but they're
shit.
Oh, so I'll get to that point. So he's up on. I stayed on the base in Shearwater, and I go for this Sea King ride. And then so what happens in the Air Force is they get the crew of the helicopter together. And they got a checklist of shit the guys need to check off that they haven't done in a while. And then they plan like what they're going to do. So we're flying, through the harbor there. And I'm like, oh, this is really great. You guys doing this? Like, yeah, we're not allowed to fly over the town.
Yeah.
No, they're not, because they think these fucking things are going to crash, right? So they're doing all these emergency flight procedure drills, and we're out over the Atlantic somewhere, and suddenly, I got a picture of this thing, this master caution light comes on, and this fucking helicopter's vibrating and doing all this shit. And I'm like, oh, they're practicing this. I'm like, no, this is a real thing.
We're really going
I'm like, oh, this is not cool. So anyways, they sort it all out and stuff, and then we go back, and one of the things they got to do is it's an auto rotation landing. So like they just dump the rotor and the thing falls, and then they're done it, right? And like I have to sit on the floor. The flight engineer guys tell me what to do. So we do that. I'm scared shitless, man. And then I hear the co-pilot go, we could have got closer to the ground. We're gonna do it again. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't want to do this again, man. So we did it again. Anyways, buddy had lent me his motorcycle, and I was gonna like go up to PEI and see all this stuff. No, once I found the lower deck, that was it, buddy.
Oh,
I found the lower deck, and I was drinking there every day of the week. I made it to Peggy's Cove. That was it.
Oh, that's nice.
It was a nice ride too on the bike.
Lower Deck is a legendary place.
It is. And if you've never, like, it's once I was in there, and then the Liquor Dome, and a couple. I spent Canada Day at what the hell's the fort there? In Halifax.
Citadel,
Citadel, yeah. Canada Day was there. It was awesome. Yeah. So it was a really good trip. But yeah, I didn't get to do half the shit I wanted to do because I found the lower deck, and that was it.
They get a lot of good live bands there too.
They do.
Did you make it out to the Keith's Brewery at all?
I did. Yep. Yeah. I did. That's the only. Yeah, that's it. I've been to like a couple breweries, mostly in Europe, but I didn't do the Keith's Brewery. It's actually smaller than I thought it was. Right. But I did the Keith's Brewery tour.
I met, there's a fella I met years ago. His wife works for the federal government in Halifax, and she has to come to Ottawa a few times a year. Yeah. So he'd come up with her because he loves Ottawa. He'd come up with her, and I bumped into him, and we're shooting the shit. And it was in a pub, and I ordered, I'll have a Keith's. He goes, it's on me. And I'm like, huh? Thanks. And I'm like, I'm not your type, but some strange.
No. He might be. You might be his type. He might be yours.
This is what I'm thinking in my head. I didn't say that, right? I was thinking that in my head. I'm like, what if this strange person just wants to pay for my drink? So we get to talk, and he goes, no, I work for Alexander Keith's. He goes, and he tells me this story, and he goes, yeah,
okay.
So he hands me his business card. He goes, Keith's on me. I'm like, another round, boys.
Yeah.
That was a good afternoon. Yeah, he was a real nice guy too. I have his card somewhere. I
remember. Years. You just reminded me of something. I don't know why. I'm glad there's like an hourly flight from Toronto to Ottawa. And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh,
so me and my boss got to go to Ottawa for we got to go to NDHQ for whatever reason. Anyways, so we land in Toronto and we're drinking in the airport and we're drinking Keith's and we miss our flight. They're like, "Okay, no problem. Like, we're in uniform. You can get on the next one. There's one every hour." Yep. We missed the next one. And I just go, I said, "When's the last one?" It's at this time. Okay, we're fucking taking that one. You're sitting in Toronto drinking $10 bottles of Keith's for like 4 hours.
Oh shit.
That happened. Similar happened, but not because I was drinking. We were actually in the waiting area, sitting in the seats.
Yeah,
I fell asleep in the seat.
Mm.
Everybody boarded the plane. Sure.
Nobody even woke you up.
Nobody woke me up. Like
I'm calling your
because
name.
I'm sitting here for my health, right?
Last call from Mr.
Yes, and then I wake up and it's like, and everybody's gone. It's like, oh my god! And it was like one of the first times I took the plane, so I didn't know. It's like, oh my god, I can't afford to go to the plane.
Have you ever been like the last guy on a plane where everybody's waiting and you're like that dick?
Yes.
Okay, I have too. I was flying to Miami to go on the Kid Rock cruise. And me and my buddy Dave are just getting loaded in the bar, and suddenly we hear our names. Like, oh shit, we gotta go. And we fucking walk on the plane, and like everybody's just giving you that death stare. Like, we could have left 5 minutes ago if it wasn't for you, dicks. I'm like, yeah, sorry, man.
Well, I had that on a connecting flight in Heathrow. I was on my way to Geneva.
Heathrow sucks.
That's the worst place to do
and
that.
I was late, but it was like our flight was delayed. Right. So when I landed, I had 5 minutes to get to the gate.
Oh,
now I made it, but they were calling my name, paging me, and then somebody says, "Oh no, the flight attendant on the flight I was just landed on had called ahead and let them know I was on the way to hold the gate for me." So I get on the plane. I'm like, "Look, sorry, my flight was late," and nobody was really too mad at me.
They usually announce that though. On the plane, flight coming in.
My Heathrow nightmare was right gate, wrong terminal.
Oh shit!
You get to the gate, there's nothing there. It's closed. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, sorry, you're supposed to be in Terminal 3 or whatever. I'm like, how do you get there? Well, it's like a fucking train.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, I did make the flight, but I was freaking out.
Yep, that happened to me at O'Hare. It's like,
oh yeah, that's a big boy too.
The wrong building,
right? It's so like
they told me to go here.
Edmonton has the easiest airport on the planet.
It's huge. It's new. It's brand new too.
Yeah, it's all reno. Like, so we were paying that $10 every time you used the plane for a long time. But you walk in and you go left or right. There's no fucking trains and shit. It's one thing, and there's lots of good bars that are open late.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you need a beer, so the last Chili's restaurant left in Edmonton is in the airport, and and you go right there, you get a beer, and it's easy, and then you get to like, I hate Pearson, man. It's horrible. It's like doing time.
I'll go around through Montreal if I have to.
Yeah,
brutal.
Yeah, and a lot like coming back from, like I said, from when we were down in Dominican Republic, another place I'll never go to again, and all inclusives are not for me. I'm like, I'm never going through Pearson again. So like when I booked that trip to Fredericton, I fucking like not Pearson, so I'm landing in Ottawa. Which is fine. Actually,
Ottawa's a pretty good little airport.
Montreal got their shit together. They did some good rentals in there, man. It doesn't look as ghetto as it used to be. I went through there last year or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good, man.
Yeah, they've got it together.
Yeah,
they really have. Yeah, I remember when it
sucked. You're like, oh my god, this airport's horrible. You know who has a shitty airport that you wouldn't think? Miami.
Really? I've never flown in and out.
With all that cocaine money they got in the 80s, you think that airport would be awesome, and it is junk. It reminds me of what Montreal what Trudeau used to look like. Like it looks like the 70s, you know, like there's still nicotine stains, like it's a bowling alley on the roof.
Oh god.
No, Miami's airport is shit. You think it wouldn't be, but it is.
Huh.
There was in 2015. That's when I went through there 10 years ago.
I had
fucking terrible.
A thing happened to me. it's like third year I was dating Alex, I think, because my partner is Romanian. So we went to Romania.
Oh, cool. Did you go to Isn't that where Dracula's from?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Absolutely. Yes. And we had two things happen. One, we had a chance to go to Italy for a little bit. We were trying one of these little discount things called Wizz Air.
Oh, one of those European cheap. Yeah.
And then there was like a whole bunch of stuff like, because like it's weird because the boarding passes are
plastic laminated.
Yeah, it's like
Ryanair. Yeah, reusable.
Yeah, and if they don't pay, and if you don't have them in advance, then you have to like pay for them, or it was this really weird thing. But it was like one process going and one process going back, which were complete opposite process. So we just could never figure anything out.
Yeah.
And then while we do Romania and all that thing is great, and then we're getting ready to go back home, but it's an extended back home, and Alex is going to stay in Romania in Arad, which is like in the northwest of it, because that's where a lot of his family is, but that's really close to Hungary. So I get on the plane and I say, okay, I'm going to go cross by train. So I'm going to, stop in Budapest, and I'm going to stop in Berlin, and I'm going to stop in Amsterdam on the way back because I had friends there, and stay a couple of days and then grab the plane from Amsterdam and go back home. So we get to Budapest, and this is Budapest in Hungary is the first country I've been to where, yes, people speak English, but the language I do not recognize in any way. Because German, you can kind of figure out certain things with alphabet. French, well, I am French. Spanish, I can figure some stuff out. Italian, I can figure some stuff out because I'm French. Romanian, I can figure some stuff out because I'm French. Yes, but Hungary is like completely different.
Well, it's Slavic, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like this. So I'm like there, and I'm like reading all the signs, right? And I'm just like, I can't figure anything out. So I know where the hostel is, and I get on the train like this, and I'm looking at the things, and it's like, okay, there's something that looks like Keleti Pali Udvar or something, and I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but I'm pronouncing it like it's English, Pali Udvar. Okay, it says Keti, it's Pali Udvar. It has a long name. It's the longest name on the thing. Because when I need to go back, I go there. So I'm there for a couple of days, and I'm taking the subways back, and I see Pali Udvar, and I go and I'm at the train station, and I do not recognize anything. It does not look like anything like the big Grand Central station that they have in Budapest, the gorgeous one.
Yeah.
It's a modern one, whatnot, but it's smaller, and I'm looking, and I can't find my train to Berlin anywhere on the thing. So I go to the ticket counter and says, "Oh no, this is Keti Pali Udvar. You need to go to Kelly Pali Udvar."
Oh, of course you do. Like, right on. So where's that?
Both on the same line, but opposite ends of the line, because I only looked in the direction I was going. So I was looking at the other the terminus. I had to go back. I never bothered to look at the other end. And I think, of course. And then I hightail it there, and I get there like this. Literally, I get there, and and I'm running, and of course I'm going to Berlin, so it's German trains. They left exactly on time. I'm running as the train's pulling out.
That is a real thing in Europe, man.
Yes.
Fucking the trains are like boom.
Yep.
So I go to the office to get my train ticket renewed. Now in Canada, if you ride Via, your ticket's your ticket. If you miss it, right, you buy a new ticket, or if they might reschedule it, but you buy a new ticket. But in Europe, I did not know this. There's the train ticket, and then you buy a seat.
Yeah.
So if you miss your train, all you need to do is buy a new seat, not a new ticket. So, but stupid Canadian, I went there and says, I missed my train. I need a new ticket. The lady at the counter sold me a new ticket.
Of course,
rather than telling me, you just need to tell.
She'll take your money.
Yeah.
And I bet you she punched it in a little differently than what it should have been, and pocketed the difference. Maybe
that I'm not sure, but it's just like, and then I call my Beaver Sweetie there and says, "What do you mean you bought a new ticket? You just got to buy a seat." It's like,
what?
Why did you tell me this before? That's a little. So if you've never been to Europe, kids and cubs, you're taking the train and you miss your train, you only need a new seat. Got a whole new ticket.
And it depends on where you're traveling, because I took the train from Geneva to Italy. I went down to visit a friend in the Tuscan region, and took the train to Livorno, which is where she lives. And I hopped on the train, and I went to sit down, and the guy goes, "Oh, no, you're in the wrong car." I'm like, "What?" So the other guy escorts me to, I guess, the discount car because I bought the cheapest ticket. And he's going to sit anywhere you want. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Just take a seat, so grab a seat, sit down, stare at the mountains because you're running down the coastline, right?
Yeah.
And you're just looking up at the Dolomite Mountains and, spectacular. Spectacular. Italy's a beautiful country. If you ever get a chance, go. The Tuscan region too.
I was just there last summer.
Oh yeah,
a club reunion thing. We were in this town. It's way over on the East Coast. Small town. That's where the guys have their the Italian guys have their clubhouse, and it's really interesting because the old part of town, like fucking ancient shit, is abandoned because they had an earthquake. So everything's structurally not cool.
Okay.
So no one's allowed to live in there. So they rebuilt the town around this, but you can still walk through it.
Oh, cool.
Now, I get scared of zombies and shit. We're going through this, and like you could film a fucking zombie movie in this place. And then we have to come back to the Airbnb at night. Good thing I was hammered out of my mind. And it's pitch black. There's no street lights or nothing. Like it's all abandoned shit because of this earthquake they had. And I'm like, I'm laughing and I'm scared at the same time. We're fucking lost. Like, where are we, man? I can't see shit. And we're going to get killed, man. But zombies are going to fucking kill us. And we found a way. But it's very neat. No, Italy's beautiful. I've been there a couple times. Really. I highly recommend it.
I loved my time there. I really did. I'd like to get back at some point in time, but who knows? So, hey, look,
we have a guest.
We got a couple of people joining us from Mexico.
Bring them in. I'm going to jump out for a minute. I need to reload my beer and have a smoke.
Right,
so I will be back.
Okay. I'm going to have to go.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. If you like,
hey, brother, how you doing?
Tuna tostada there is insane. It's fire. It's so good.
Hi.
Hey,
Lynn.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I'll be back.
I can't see
nice
you
hat,
because
man.
the signal here sucks.
We can see you. You're good.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. You're 5 by 5,
All
bro.
right,
I'll
cool.
be right back.
I can't see you guys. How are
That's
you?
Okay.
Hello,
Good.
handsome. How are you?
We're great.
Good. How are you?
You've got the good weather down there. It's a little chilly here in Ottawa today, but you know, what are you going to do? We'll just drink some beer. And, oh my God. Nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Signal sucks.
Oh, really? On the Wi-Fi even?
Whoops. A little stall. Oh, no.
No, you come back in. There we go. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Is that better? Can you see me better now?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit better. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's
yeah. Bit of a delay.
I'll come back.
Okay.
All
right.
Oh, wow. Mexico. How cool is that?
Yeah, I was talking the other day and I said, hey, we're doing a PubCast on Saturday. I sent this out, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. And he says, well, I'll be in Mexico. He says, send me a link and we'll try and join. I'm like, cool. So, yeah. I thought that was kind of neat. I'm like, wicked. Going to join in all the way from Mexico. Nice beachside resort where he is, too. Look like a good spot. I've never been to Mexico. You know that? Never been. No, I've never really had a desire to go. I'm going to say, admittedly, my attitude has changed very recently.
Okay.
Considering, the current circumstances, which we're not going to get into.
Right.
But now I'm like, yeah, I'll go to Mexico sometime. It's a nice place. I have had friends who've lived there, friends who went to school there. Yeah. What the hell? I've never been. I should go sometime. I guess one of the reasons I didn't go, because that was what everybody was doing. And I don't like to do what everybody else is doing.
Right.
So they're like, they're going to Dominican or they're going to Mexico. I'm like, I'm going to Europe.
Yeah. But when we went to Mexico, it's my best friend that convinced me to go.
Mm-hmm.
He had been going to Puerto Vallarta for a couple of years, and he always used to go to Acapulco and Cancun before and all that kind of stuff before I met him. So you got to go. And I was like, I'm not really a sun destination person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did go to Puerto Vallarta, and it's like the one thing I did not consider in Mexico, I eat like a king because everything's corn. I can eat everything. It's just like, oh my God. It's like, I love it here.
Yeah, I guess no wheat, right? So you're good to go.
Oh yeah. But also Puerto Vallarta is just absolutely fantastic, and it's very, very safe. And as opposed to Acapulco, Cancun, tourists are safe for safer.
Right.
But whenever we hear stories about something, it's usually Cancun and Acapulco, but you never hear anything about Puerto Vallarta. It's like there's been no place in Puerto Vallarta that I've been afraid to walk at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning alone.
Cabo San Lucas is supposed to be good too, I'm told, but I've never been. It's not. I will eventually go and visit there. It's not high on my priority list of places I want to go and see. There's other places I want to go and see, and there's friends I want to visit in Europe that I've not seen in a while and get back to the UK. So, I mean, I need to start earning more money. So it's a little hard to do it on my current salary. That's right. I don't have one. So yeah, it's in the future. I forgot to send you an email that was sent to me. It's business related.
Okay.
We got the contract. Yeah. And that's all I'll say. Yeah. So I've got some stuff I got to send to you to have a look over. I meant to send it to you yesterday, but I was out all day and I forgot it last night. But yeah, we got a contract. So yeah.
Cool.
Contract.
Right. So you might be heading up to the North Country in May or June. Yeah.
Nice. Yay. Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. You'll be able
Country.
to go. I can't. I mean,
where's the North Country?
Yellowknife.
Oh shit, that's way north.
Yeah.
I've been up there. Some good bars up there, man.
Yes.
Good fishing
Blues
too.
bars.
Blues bars, really? In
There was
Yellowknife?
I mean, there's not a lot of people, but the most blues bars per capita in anywhere in North America.
The nicest national defense building in Canada is in fucking Yellowknife.
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's buddy.
Oh, yeah.
It's right in the bay,
Mm-hmm.
and like so the messes, the army bars, have these beautiful big balconies that overlook the water. Like it's really nice. It's a good go if you're the outdoors type, and you get posted up there. What used to be called CFNA, Canadian Forces Northern Area. Now I don't know what it's called today. Fucking beautiful, man. Really, really nice. If you can handle darkness.
Well, I think it's May or is it June? I think we can't
July,
say anything about it.
I think
it's June or July.
Yeah.
So
I was up there in June, and I was such a dummy. we were doing adventure training, doing this canoe portage fishing thing. It was great, and I brought a headlamp. You know, I realized the sun just goes in a circle, man. It's never ever like in the housing. Everybody's got shutters and shit on their windows, black out their windows because you can't
sleep.
Like it's fucking daylight all the time. They have a every June 21st, whenever the solstice is 21st, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a midnight golf tournament up there.
Oh yeah,
but you get a piece of AstroTurf because it's all like sand. There's no grass, so you carry this chunk of friggin' AstroTurf around for every shot you make. And it starts at midnight. And so here I am with my stupid headlamp. They're like, you ain't from here, are you? I'm like, no. Nope. We drove up there from Edmonton in a fucking army van. It was like a 15-hour drive.
Oh, God, yeah. That's a long haul.
Yeah.
That is a long haul.
Nice town, though, man. Actually, I like Whitehorse better. It's beautiful.
I've not been to that part of it. It's the one part of the country I've not been to that I desperately need to go and see. But, I mean, to fly to Yellowknife from Ottawa, there are direct flights.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I could fly to South Africa, return for less
cheaper.
money.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah,
you know, it's not cheap to fly there, and to drive there, well, that would take a week. So that's not happening. I mean, you're in Edmonton, so 15 hours is still a hell of a drive.
It was a drive,
but for me, it would take like 5 or 6 days, and probably cost more in fuel than it would be to fly.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
100%. What happened to Mr. Lindley? Bad connection?
He's trying to get a better connection. He said the Wi-Fi there is not very good. So he said he'd come back.
Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, I reached out to him the other day when I reached out to you, and I sent him, I said, if you want to join. He says, I'll be in Mexico, but we'll see if we can join.
I wonder if he's in an all-inclusive. Have you guys been to an all-inclusive?
Once, never again.
I was
Thank you, Douglas.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I was at a resort for a wedding back in 2008 in Costa Rica, and it was up on a mountaintop. So you were you had to take a bus into town, and that was not even going to bother. Oh, no. But it was not all inclusive. Your food and drinks were extra.
Oh,
because it was this small little resort, but it was beautiful and I loved it. I was only there 3 days, and that was enough. because I didn't like the idea of, I'm not visiting the country. I'm seeing,
well, this,
you know.
Yeah, so I was just down in Dominican for my Ray Rout for Ray's wedding.
Yes.
Yes. And never again. It's like being in a prison, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like, so they had 3 bars, a pool bar, a beach bar, and then the main bar, which is near the lobby. Okay. Now understand, I'm a functioning alcoholic, so you can see where I'm going with this. The 2 bars shut down at 7, and then the main bar closed. They didn't have Mexico's got way better ones allegedly with 24-hour sports bars, and the main bar shut down at 1. And I wanted to go like watch free, and the food was shit, as I'm told most places
Resorts
are.
Apparently.
And and then you couldn't get a beer after 1 because there's a lot of blue hairs there, right? So they went, we have to keep the noise down for those people. I'm like, fuck me. So I went into town one day, hit like a bar. It's just not my thing. I'm like, you're never gonna sell me on this all inclusive shit. I'm too adventurous. I don't know. Like I go to Mexico a lot, right? I got friends that live down in Sayulita, which is my favorite town in Mexico. And I get an Airbnb or stay at buddy's house. Get your own pool.
Yeah.
Lots of restaurants and bars you can walk to anytime. I like to choose. So it's like I thought, okay, I wear a watch. I don't know if people still wear watches very much. I'm an Army guy, so I always have a watch. And I wanted to take it off. No cell phone, no watch, nothing.
Yeah,
no, you couldn't do that because you need to know what time bocce ball and horseshoes is. And this restaurant closes at this time. And then you got to go over to this one. So you're fucking chained to like what time you got to go to shit.
That's not a vacation.
I'm like, no, it was terrible, man.
Right.
I like by day 3, I'm like, this is a friggin', an upscale prison to me.
Yeah.
I hated it. I couldn't wait to get out of there, man. I'm like, I would fucking never go in. And I'm not sorry if anybody from the Dominican is watching. Your country sucks. It borders Haiti.
Just the resorts. Just the resorts.
The part of we were up in Puerto Plata, not Punta Cana, so it's like Atlantic. So the water was shit too. It was like fucking rough, choppy water. It was warm. But it was like shit.
It was warm,
water.
yeah.
It wasn't bad. But I was like, oh man, this is so not for me. And those Caribbean mosquitoes love me. If we had a pool going, there was 20 people at this wedding, I had the most mosquito bites out of anybody, man. It was fucking brutal. I couldn't wait to go home. I'm like, I'm never, ever, ever doing all inclusive again. Like,
well, like I said, I wasn't. It wasn't a full all inclusive, but it was. You're enclosed in this enclave. So now you had to take a bus from San Juan to the resort, and that takes about 90 minutes. So you're driving through some beautiful countryside, but you're not experiencing the country.
No, you're in transit, man. Like you're looking out a fucking window. Like, okay, right on.
Yeah, because that's. I mean, same thing. Like when we had the chance to go to Puerto Vallarta, they had some all inclusives, and they had some like hotels that are still in the neighborhood that they'll give you they include the food and the drink. But it's not particularly good. And if you're already in a neighborhood, we like the first year we went, we bought that. I only ate there twice, and I ended up eating the neighborhoods and realized that it was actually cheaper to eat in the neighborhoods than the actual. So the next year we went, we just took the hotel, and then the following years we found like bed and breakfasts and stuff, not bed and breakfasts, but Airbnbs and stuff. And there's just something about being in a neighborhood and living, like feeling the pulse and the rhythm of life.
You get an idea of
that's exactly how I travel.
School uniforms, if you happen to be there on Easter, like you see the people going to the beach and you hear the cars.
I want to be immersed. I want to be immersed. And like, I don't listen to the bullshit either. Like, I'll give you a good example. Belize City's a fucking dangerous city.
Yeah.
And we were looking at property down there a long time ago. So we get there, and we had a friend who's a realtor that took care of us and stuff. And she's a local, and she's like, "Okay, you white boys, you don't go downtown." Like, now we're going. Right, the minute you tell 2 fucking Army guys to not do something, we're gonna go do it, man. And we went into the bowels of like where there's no fucking tourists here, man. And the people were awesome. Like they're the friendliest people. You just see some guy with a cooler and a table
Yeah.
And he's selling beer on the side of the street. It's not a legit restaurant or bar or business, nothing.
Right.
I got the coldest beer in Belize. Okay, fucking, we want 2 of them. And we just went to everywhere. And I do that everywhere I go. Like, wherever, you shouldn't go down there. Like,
well, now I got to go.
Now I'm going. 100% I'm going down there. And I've never, mostly, I've been a couple, I'll go wherever. I like, but exactly. The point is, traveling is not to be in this fucking compound.
No.
Full of a bunch of goddamn white old people from Ontario.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, right. Like this is.
I could just go to the beach.
I get it for Ray's wedding. It makes sense to keep everybody together and to like from a coordination standpoint and logistics and shit. It makes sense, but that is no fucking way how I would travel. Like people who go to these things every year, like my god, okay, if that's your thing, if you want to be. My meal time is here. Like if I'm 90, maybe that's a good gig. But
I eat when I get hungry, not when the clock tells me.
Yeah, and that was it, man. I mean, like I had to keep my watch on to know when shit was happening.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't go on a cruise ship. Like that would be worse.
You know what I'd like to do is tour on a cruise ship. Like go on a tour and see one. I've never been on one.
Fucking people who retire and live on them.
Yes.
Yeah, I get no, thank you.
Because they're obligated medically to take care of you, right? Yeah. So these old people, I've read about this, sell off all their shit, everything, and they fucking are on cruise ships 365 days a year.
Apparently, it's less
different ones
than a nursing home.
Yeah, I believe what it is. I couldn't do it. I did a cruise, and it was the Kid Rock cruise. Which was awesome, man. There was looking all kinds of bands, like not just Kid Rock. There was a bunch of other bands playing all the time. And I looked at Dave and I said, "Would you ever go on one of these things, like a normal one?" I'm like, fucking no way, man. Like at least in the all inclusive, I called the taxi guy and he took me downtown and just checked out what life was like in Puerto Plata, and went to a restaurant, had way better food than I'd eaten all week. And had a couple of beers and talked to the locals and shit. And they're really nice people. It was a good time. But what's like, if you're going to travel and you're sitting in this fucking prison with a pool and a bar, why? It's not my thing. For some people, it might be their thing.
I've been on one cruise. It was an all-gay cruise.
How long was it?
2 weeks.
Oh, God.
It was fun.
Really?
Yeah, you had a good time?
Well, put 550 gay guys on one boat and see what happens.
That would have been a fabulous time.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well, apparently, what we learned is it was a company called RSVP Cruises.
Okay.
Apparently, it was a Cuban man who started it and said, like, we know what it's like to feel oppressed, whatnot. So,
sure.
So let's do it. But they organized the first cruise like they would organize every other cruise. Like they had a whole bunch of blue hairs. So they bought all the alcohol that they would need for the entire cruise. And the first cruise was like the alcohol was included. Apparently we went through the whole stock of alcohol in one day. From that point on, it was the cruise, but you got to buy your own. The non-alcoholic drinks are free, but apparently they had to restock up every day at every port because we just drank the whole. So yeah, apparently we drink a lot. We tip very, very, very well, and so they kept having us back.
So they're fucking happy.
They were very
perfect
happy.
Customers. Nobody caused any problems.
Yes, it's like
I did drink
they're
all
a little
the
strange, but they're nice boys.
I drank all the Jim Beam at this fucking all inclusive. They had to go get more. I'm like, what? There's like 1,000 people in here. I'm the only guy drinking this. Well, pretty much, because they don't have, you can't get Crown Royal there, right? And I don't drink beer when it's super hot out. It's too bloaty.
You know what? When it's really hot, beer is not enjoyable. I don't.
And then so like you have those sugary drinks, or no, you can't drink those all day, like fucking pina coladas and shit. It's too much sugar.
Your stomach.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna drink Jim Beam and ginger ale or whatever. Like I'm just changing it up all the time to try to figure out what I was gonna drink. So I like Jim Beam because they didn't have Crown Royal. They didn't have no Canadian whiskey down there. And I drank all their Jim Beam. The guy, they had to go into town and get more. I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm embarrassed.
I mean, I love an ice cold beer on a hot day, but when it's like 42, 43 degrees outside.
Yeah, like when you're golfing,
it's not enjoyable.
I can't drink beer when it's hot and I'm golfing. There's no fucking way, man.
No, I will have a couple of beer after the golf game.
Yeah,
on the 19th
hole for sure.
Yeah. But there was a time when I'd have a couple on the while I was playing. I'm like, I can't anymore. It's just, I don't enjoy it.
Like I need aiming fluid, but I can't. Beer's not the best when it's hot as fuck out, man.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I switched up I had a lot of different drinks there, but it was, I kept changing what I was drinking because stuff was going sideways, and you can't smash. And this guy goes, here's what I didn't know. Here's a fun fact for you kids out there. Coconut juice is a natural diuretic.
Yes.
So if you're smashing pina coladas all day and then you wonder why you have an explosive moment later on, that's why. And I did not know that. I went, oh, okay. So I'm going to throttle off of these things. I thought it was the food. Nope.
Pina colada is a nice drink, but you want maybe 2.
Yeah, and I was drinking, what they call it, a Miami Vice. It's like a pina colada mixed with some other shit. They're good, but end of the day, too much sugar and stuff now. So I'm like, fucking, like it feels like when you go to an all-inclusive, and I've only been to one, I need to drink as much as humanly possible to account for what I paid for this.
Right,
right? Exactly.
Mainline it.
So
put it in my veins.
I'm having booze all day long. Because the food was so shitty. I felt like I need to offset shit food by just drinking like an absolute fool. But I never really got like nuked out of her.
Oh no,
no, I don't think so. I mean, I had like one really drunk night. I remember going up to the bar and it was closed. I'm like, what time is it? It's 1:30. I'm like, why is this closed? This place sucks. No, I would rather much go to Mexico and do the Airbnb thing, buddy. Paul, you got no audio. What the hell? Can you hear me? Thumbs up. I can't hear you. That's fucking weird.
Huh?
There you are.
Back? You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
when you unplug Doug, your audio's gone. That's bizarre.
That shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't. He's back, ladies and gentlemen, by popular demand.
That was weird. Okay, well, I'll just keep the camera up. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some. I think I'm gonna get some chicken nuggets. They got a little snack menu, and chicken nuggets and fries. $6.
That's actually cheap.
That's cheap, exactly.
By today's standards.
Yeah, because if I want like chicken fingers, which I do like, that's around $18, I think. So it's a little bit more money.
Listen, you guys can go down.
I just wonder where they find.
You can head up the road and get a really nice Montreal smoked meat sandwich by walking straight north from where you are. What's that place? It's right across from McLaren's, isn't it?
Very close to McLaren's. Yeah, it's just a little further up. Zach's.
I've stumbled Elgin many a time.
Well, that used to be a Dunn's, and now it's Zach's because Dunn's is they've closed their last store in the market. That's closing soon too.
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think they're putting up a condo tower there at some point in time. So another tower.
Condos. That's what we need. More condos.
Yes, especially there. The condo I live in there was the first when they were starting infill projects in Ottawa. Was the very, very first one. It was a test case to see if it would work. So I got really lucky when I bought. Because
no doubt.
Cheap because they didn't know. But between the time I actually purchased it on plan, there's like 3 more that went up in different like parts, and it's like that weren't even planned when I bought. They went up faster than mine did, and now they're like there's all over. There's the Claridge ones on Rita,
there's 4 towers on Rideau Street.
Yeah,
and there's right across the street from that. There's 3 new ones going up.
Who's buying all this stuff?
I don't know.
No idea,
right? Because like it's the same in Edmonton, man. There's fucking houses and condos going up all over the place. I'm like, who's buying this?
It's got to be foreign investments.
Gotta be.
In my building, I know that there were foreign students that were coming to study like for 3-4 years, and their parents would buy it for 3 or 4 years, and then they would sell it rather than paying residents like this. So there was a lot of that in our building when we just started, but now it's sort of like a whole mix. Now there's older people and young professionals and stuff. But yeah, it was just very. But they just all popped up, and now there are so many.
It's crazy.
They actually had to shut down the grocery store like this, and they were going to build a new one like this, and then put a new bigger grocery store in it because the one there was too small now with all the people that are in the neighborhood. So you go shopping for fruits and vegetables, and there was
what's the population of Ottawa?
What's that? Ottawa itself is 1.1, and when you add in Gatineau, it's about 1.6.
Really?
Yeah,
that's bigger than I thought.
Yeah, it grew really fast.
Yeah, it's really been growing in the last few years.
That's about the same size as Edmonton.
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
actually bigger if you include Gatineau.
Yeah.
I remember the
way bigger
sign when we're driving in when I was a kid. Welcome to Ottawa, population 308,000 or something.
Yeah.
It's like 1.6 now. Wow, geez.
Yeah. Well, Ottawa Gatineau is about 1.6, and they just can't build places fast enough for people to live in.
Well, apparently not. No, I thought it was like 800,000.
No, it hit a million about 10, 12 years ago. Crossed the million.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be that. It's a few years back, but crossed the million threshold, which is the funny thing is I was reading about that. And once you cross that threshold, things change rapidly after that, like the growth of the city.
Yeah.
You get so much more investment coming in.
Right.
And I'm like, really? They go, yeah. I'm like it's a psychological barrier or something. Once you cross that number, though, things really explode. And I mean, you look at Calgary and Edmonton, once they both hit the million mark, how much that's grown since.
Oh, Calgary's a nightmare, man.
It's insane.
So when I grew up in Calgary in the 80s, there was 650,000 people.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that much.
I think it's double that now, isn't it? More 1.5.
well over a million.
Yeah.
And it's the same friggin' infrastructure, man. Other than Stony Trail, it's like, back in the day, you could get anywhere. Like when I was playing hockey, right? So you're bouncing all over the city and shit in like 20 minutes. Now,
forget about it.
Good luck, man.
Yeah.
They've added one ring road and that's it. It's fucking horrible.
Oh, my dog's goth is in Calgary.
Edmonton, you can get anywhere in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Anywhere. So if I need to go to the south side and take the Anthony Henday, the ring road, 30 minutes. If I need to go downtown, it's 30 minutes. Everything's 30 minutes max to get anywhere, unless there's like a fucking storm or, a car crash or whatever. Half an hour, you can get anywhere.
Airport's a bit further though.
Leduc International Airport. Yeah. Like why is it way out there? Oh, and and we don't have a fucking train that goes out there. It's like, how do you not have a train that goes out there?
Well, and
we have the worst light rail transit system in the country.
Our light rail just extended to the Ottawa airport now. You can take the train to the airport now.
Can't do that here. No. It's 40 minutes, 45 minutes to get to the airport. And I think the city planners thought the city was going to grow southwest. Well, in 2087. Maybe, but the airport's way out there, man.
Well, what you really
need is Denver. You ever been to Denver? Their fucking airport is way out there.
Oh, it's far, yeah.
It's further.
What you need is a high-speed rail link between Calgary and Edmonton, though.
Oh, don't even get me started. We've been talking about this for decades.
20, 30 years, yeah. I'd love to see it happen, though, because
I drive that a lot, and that highway, the QE2, is fucking jammed.
Oh, yeah.
724. It doesn't matter what day. Like, it's packed all the time.
And the average
you cannot tell me. You can't tell me. They did some bullshit economic feasibility study 10 years ago. Oh, it's not economically feasible. I'm like, bullshit.
I don't believe that for a second.
You go from Edmonton, like at the airport or whatever, one stop in Red Deer and into Calgary, and that will be packed all the time.
Yep.
There's a thing, they call it the Hyperloop. Like, they're going to do this eventually, but I just can't believe that we don't have it. It boggles the mind. I'm on this fucking first bullet train I was ever on. 2000, me and my cousin were in the Czech Republic visiting family and shit and doing the things you do in the Czech Republic. Anyways, we're in a town called, it's pronounced Cheb, and it's right on the border between Germany and the Czech Republic. And so we're going to take the train to Frankfurt because that's where we're flying out of. So we get on this train, bullet train. I'm like, fucking cool, man. There's 200 mile an hour. Guess who builds it?
Bombardier?
Bombardier. I'm like, so Bombardier builds this. And we don't have this.
Yeah.
what in the is going on here, man?
I know. It's crazy, right? Like, I've taken the TGV from Geneva to Paris and back again. Yep. And once you get outside the city, 200 miles an hour.
I know, man. It was wild. I'm like,
it's
how
like
the how do you not have this between Edmonton and Calgary?
I know. Right? It should be.
It blows my mind, man.
And here's the thing. Building a rail link between Edmonton and Calgary isn't super challenging.
Nope.
I mean, it's nothing pretty much straight and flat.
It is like, for anybody who's never been to Alberta, I'm going to tell you guys something right now. The most boring drive of your existence is between, well, it's actually between Medicine Hat and Calgary, but Edmonton to Calgary, there's like one curve.
Yeah. And it's flat. There's a bit of a dip here and there, but it's
at Ponoka, and then that's it.
And there's nothing to see. There's nothing to see.
Fuck all the
field.
Mind-numbingly boring, and there's tons of transport trucks.
Oh yeah.
And when I ride it on my motorcycle, it is like I'd rather be waterboarded by the fucking CIA for an hour than drive that ride that on my bike. We actually take the longer routes, Highway 2221, which is east-west of Highway 2, and it's got curves and little towns. You stop at a beer and stuff. You know, but it's 5 hours instead of 3. But it's just more interesting. It just sucks less. So, yeah. But the most boring stretch of road in the world is between Calgary and Regina, man. Like, that is literally a straight line.
I've driven it before many, many, many years ago, and it's like you could fall asleep and wake up, and if your alignment is good, you got nothing to worry about.
There's a lot of guys that, like, you know, because I ride motorcycles, they want to ride across Canada. I'm like, do you know that like 90% of riding across Canada sucks?
Yeah.
Outside of BC is awesome.
Yes.
And then you got prairies, which is mind-numbingly boring. Yep. And then you're in, like, if you don't cheat and go through the States, you're going through fucking Kenora and then Thunder Bay and then down across the lakes.
Yep.
And it's just trees and nothing. Yep. It's not as exciting as it sounds, man.
It is not. I have been to Ottawa to Vancouver and back by bus.
Like, okay, then you know.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like,
All throughout Canada, like this, in the first like few hours, like, oh, I'm all excited and all like this, and then we get to Sudbury, and then we change buses, and then we get to St.
Right,
and we get the bus, and then it's like Canadian Shield, yet more Canadian Shield, even yet more Canadian Shield. Oh my God, does Ontario ever fucking end?
Right?
And it's sort of like Manitoba, yay! Flat.
Well,
something's different.
Yeah, and then you see nothing but that for a few days,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
When I left Halifax, going back to when I told you that story, I was staying at the in the lower deck for a week.
Yeah,
I could have flew back to Montreal, because Toronto was closed because of SARS. And my buddy, he goes, "Well, you should take the train. You can see all this stuff." And I went, "Okay, then." So rather than fly a 2-hour, 3-hour flight, whatever, I take this train, which is 12 hours, and I'm a smoker, so we have a problem here already. And it's nothing but trees. Like, there's fucking zero scenery going.
There's nothing to see.
Where Via Rail goes from Halifax to Montreal, and we'd stop, and I'd get out and try to hack this quick dart down, and the guy's yelling at me, "We got to get back on." I'm like, oh my God, no bar. I couldn't go in the bar car because I didn't buy the right ticket.
Oh shit!
So I had to wait for this cart lady to come by, which was like 2 times.
Yeah,
it was the worst experience of my life. I could have flew fucking to Montreal in like 2 hours. Now I'm on this bullshit train, no scenery, can't get a beer, treated like a criminal when I try to have a cigarette outside. Like, fuck, I hate this.
The drive from Miramichi, New Brunswick to Montreal is a beautiful drive.
The drive's probably better because the train just tries to beeline it and cut through the forest. There's nothing to see.
There's nothing to see. Nothing. Whereas the road, you're going through hills and valleys, and right? You know, there's all kinds of stuff to see, and it's quite beautiful, especially as you get into northern New Brunswick, southern tip of Quebec there.
Yeah.
Mountain ranges, and it's beautiful. And I've driven it, oh God, 100 times probably.
I love Montreal, man.
It's the greatest city.
Really loved it there.
In Canada, as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to live there.
Exactly.
Though. Even Quebec City was really cool.
Oh yeah, Quebec.
And as soon as they found out I was from Alberta, not Ontario, they were nice to me.
Yep.
I know.
because I speak in English and they're just treating me like shit. I was in there during Carnival.
Oh, nice!
Which is fucking awesome. And I'm in the bars and restaurants. Right, we were doing an army conference thing at the Citadel, which was really cool too. Really neat spot, and I loved it. And I'm like, oh, I'm from Edmonton. They're like, oh, okay, fucking, you're cool. They fucking hate you guys from Ontario, though, buddy.
Calgary. Sorry, what the Carnaval and the Festival d'été du Québec.
It's awesome.
Summerfest,
the music festival is fantastic.
Yeah, the Festival d'été is massive.
Really like Quebec City. It was fucking beautiful, and I love Montreal. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there, but I sure like visiting there. When I went down to Old Montreal and stuff, it was awesome. I only had it was one night. Because I took the train, I would have had 2 if I flew. And so I maxed out that one night, right? And I had a really good time. And I haven't been back since, but I would sure love to go to Montreal. It's fucking nice.
I tried living in Montreal, and it's just it's too fast. And it's
different than Toronto.
It's like it's too much. Like there were interesting things, like when you're when you're on the street and you're taking the bus. People will line up for the bus, but you get down in the metro and it's a completely free for all. It's like, why can't
is that right?
Above ground the same way as they are underground, or vice versa. And then
I was much for me,
because it's a big cosmopolitan city. You open up the newspaper, you say, let's do something this weekend. And it's like you've got all the shows and the concerts that are in English,
there,
and then you got all the ones that are in French. And then you got all the ones that are in every other language because it's a big cosmo. And by the time you go through the entire the concert's passed, man. Before you figure out
it's already done.
You can't. Whereas Ottawa, it's like, there might be like 3 or 4 concerts going on, like in various venues like this. There's in one night, and you can pick one and go. There's just too much damn choice.
There's way too much choice. I know this sounds like a terrible thing.
I would have to relearn French to live there, though.
But it's a very fast-paced city.
Yeah, it's so fucking hard to not. It sucks to not learn French. You don't need it out here.
No.
But that's a problem. You do a French course in the military in school. Unless you use it, you lose it. It's the same. Like I used to speak Czech, and then I got all fucked up when I went to Bosnia because it's different dialects of Slavic languages. And but I knew enough to get by. But if you don't use it, you lose it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I told every guy in the army, like, because you in the military, at some point, if you want to progress, you need to the language profile. So you need to learn French. And they have these bullshit French courses out here, but you're never going to fucking learn it. You need to be immersed, man. You got to go to where the hell do they run the French school in Quebec? It's not in Valcartier. It's in
it's not Valcartier.
Saint Jean.
Is it Saint Jean?
Yeah. So that's where you would do it, and like live it every day. Go out in the community and speak, parler le français, because you fucking do it here. You're not going to learn that shit. There's no way.
I'm really glad my mom sent me to school in French.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Are you fluent? Good.
Oh yeah.
My French is better than my English, actually.
Oh fuck, nice. Yeah, mine is not.
It's really weird.
I'm drunk. I can speak Braille. No, it's one of those things I wish I learned, but there's just no opportunity here to master it. You know what I mean?
God, no.
You have to be immersed.
Yeah. You're more likely to speak Hindi or maybe Mandarin than you are French.
I'm going to learn Spanish. It's like learning French. It's like
very close.
I go to Mexico enough, and I'm going to be spending like a few months a year down there. So it's like learn the language. You don't have to in Sayulita because it's so many expats, but be respectful, be polite. You're living in their culture.
Agreed.
Fucking learn their language, man.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
And make the effort.
No, I agree with that.
Perfect. You just make an effort,
and even for your own safety, like just to be able to understand what's going on around you. Like that's a thing for me. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not paranoid, but I'm an ex-military guy, so
and it's relatively easy to do because all you have to do is watch a little TV because
it's not that hard,
right?
I pick up so much when I'm down there. Yeah.
But you see, like I remember, like where's the bathroom? Right, like
baño,
but that's an important sentence, right?
Yeah,
like this, and you're like watching TV.
The American version is this: "Where's the banjo?" I'm like, oh my god!
But you're watching TV, and it's like where's the bathroom? And everything's subtitled, right? Because they play it in the original English, and you look as a bathroom baño. Oh, okay, and then you just pick up a few keywords, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's the other thing too. When it comes to learning a language, if you're completely immersed in it, you have to learn it. But the way they teach it in school here is ridiculous. It's like, okay, conjugate the verb. No, No, don't make me do that. Tell me what this is. Tell me what these are called. You know, like
right.
Give me the
like
words.
Practical versus what you learn in school. Because I took
Yes.
French in school, which obviously is fucking useless to me now. But I'll tell you, one of the hardest language in the world to learn is Dutch.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy. I go to Holland a lot, like every year, because and fuck, man, and it's just the way. It's not even the language. It's not like French or Spanish where you can connect how it relates to English.
No,
Right.
it's how shit is pronounced.
Yes.
It's a lot of. It's like Klingon.
Yes, actually, when I was
learning Klingon, it's fucking hard, man.
Actually, somebody told me a story about that, and you'll appreciate this because it was in World War II how the Germans were trying to pass as Dutch.
Good luck.
At the time, right? But there's similar sounding in a way, but there's one specific thing, SCH, like the airport.
Schiphol.
Yeah.
But it's Schiphol.
Oh, that's so exactly. So good morning is good morgen. You have to be able to, like you're choking on cauliflower.
And apparently the Germans didn't do the and that's how they were able to detect. Yep. Just make them pronounce it.
There's good morgen, mein Bruder is good morning, brother.
Yeah.
My brother. And mein Bruder, that's it's very related to German.
Right.
People are watching this going, what the fuck? This is the most boring podcast.
Well, and then
but it's a hard language to learn. I got a couple buddies that can speak it fluently that live there, right? They were Scottish guys. My buddy Ronnie's Scottish. He lives in Holland. His wife's Dutch.
So
my buddy Fozzie
Dutch with a Scottish accent?
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre, man.
For everybody.
I can't even imagine that.
I can't even do it.
This is an American guy last year went up to Ronnie and goes, "Why your English is really good." He thought he was a Dutch guy. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm from fucking Scotland." Oh man. But yeah, very, very hard to learn. And when it's like any language, like even if you learn French, you learn it at the speed that you can speak it. And the problem is you learn like France French out here. You don't learn Quebecois.
Right.
So you think you got it all figured out, and then you run into some fucking French guy from Quebec, and he's like, "Bah!" I'm like, what? I don't understand anything you said, man. Do you think is too hard connecting to Canadian community with broken English as Spanish speaker?
I don't think so.
No,
it shouldn't. I find most English speakers in Canada tend to, when you encounter somebody whose first language clearly isn't English, I find, it's been my experience anyway, I find people do their best to try and understand you, and
that's all you got to do, right?
It's like if you screw something up really bad, you might get that quizzical look, like, I'm sorry, what are you trying to say to me?
Yeah.
And then they explain it with,
you work
gestures. And then it's like, no problem. So no, it shouldn't be that difficult to.
When you run into those problems, A, don't be an asshole, and B, don't be in a hurry. Okay, we can work it out, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
No, I agree.
I got to go. I'll be right back in a minute there. I'm going to go see a man about a horse, and I'll get to
see a man about a horse.
Yeah, because I again remember in Mexico, I'm picking up some words, right, and I'm like trying to order at one point, and I'm ordering shrimp and something. Exactly. And then they turn around and they say cebolla y mantequilla, and I'm like,
you got me there.
Well, there, cebolla apparently is onion and mantequilla is butter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give me onions, give me butter, of course. But I'm sitting there like I've got all the words that I'm like really proud of myself like this and that, and I just did it all in Spanish, like what they excuse me and could I have please and all that kind of stuff. And this, would you like that? I was like, lost.
I had to learn a little bit. The first time we went down to Sayulita, I ended up working in a restaurant. So my buddy Johnny, he's the only guy in his family that was born in the States. He's Mexican American, and the rest of his family was born in Mexico. And we ran into him at this restaurant called Elia's in Sayulita, and every Sunday they had this big smoker made out of like an old propane tank. Like this thing's a homemade smoker, and he would do ribs or whatever. And then we got to talking, and I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Can you help me out Sunday?" I found out this guy's really not a good cook. So I said, "Yeah, dude, go down to your butcher, get all the ribs. I gave him a list of a rub, and he comes back with all these mismatched types of ribs and shit. And I'm ripping the silver skin off the backs of these ribs and putting the rub on. He's like, what are you doing? I said, you got to take the silver skin off. So I started asking, I said, how were Johnny's ribs last week? He goes, they were all right. So yeah, man. So I spent all day cooking ribs, and they sold all of them out that night, but I had to, you're forced. It's good to be forced into having to speak a language.
Right.
I mean, it's cool with the Google Translate shit now.
Right.
So the cab driver in Dominican, he would just talk into the thing and it would translate it, and I would talk back and it would translate it, like the universal translator shit off Star Trek.
Right.
But I'm like, that's kind of a crutch. I don't want that. I want to learn that language, Right. And being forced into it really pushes you mentally to listen and then try to come up with what you're trying to say.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't have the word, but you know enough words to be able to describe it, to get around.
Right. Exactly. Right? So I know enough to get to the point, and Buddy can figure it out.
Right. So, and like, you'll get the verb tenses wrong, and you'll get like the adjectives, if there's adjectives that coordinate. Like this,
they probably laugh at us.
Like this, but they'll understand.
Make fun of accents, man. Right? It's the same shit.
I know exactly, but they'll get you because it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Like, I think they appreciate the effort.
Yeah, because when I'm speaking Spanish, it's like, today I go, tomorrow I go, yesterday I go.
Yeah, right? It's the same. You're like, I'm doing this wrong.
All my verbs are present tense. And then I just say the time to go with it, and then people understand me.
No, it's I want to make the effort and be better, because to me it's just polite, It's the right thing to do, and it's good for you. It's just safer to understand languages in places that or if you're in somewhere and there's shit going on around you. Yep. And I'm not sounding paranoid. It's just like I like to know what the fuck people are talking about around me.
Oh yeah, and just like also the brain, right? Then you're plus keeping that working, keeping the brain fresh.
Absolutely,
it's good stuff.
He's back. Well, look at that CIA headset he's wearing, man.
Without a horse.
That?
Without a horse.
Oh no, I went to see a man without
what's with those headphones you got going on there? Are you undercover?
You've never heard that before?
What?
Yeah.
No,
sorry. There we go.
Yes, but I was just wondering.
There you are.
You didn't bring back the horse.
No. There we go. Yes, a fresh.
Everybody, finally. Sociable time.
Sociable.
Everybody, raise them up
or whatever. There you go.
Put your paws up.
Get them glasses up for everybody who's still watching or listening. It's unbelievable you've hung on this long, but we appreciate you. So cheers.
Yeah, there's about 1,200 people in the live stream right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You fucking people got nothing else to do? Really?
We're just it's because we're delightful.
You guys are my favorite people. I haven't been on a podcast in a long time, man.
Oh, well, you're always welcome. You know that.
I ditched my live shit. Not doing it anymore. It was when it becomes cumbersome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can understand that.
Right, where you're like every week you're coming up with bullshit topics, like you're not engaged. I've gone back to my recorded version. Actually, I think next week we're recording my next one. Jody Minnick from Ottawa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my sister knows him.
Oh, he's
Jody was supposed to be on last week, and something happened. And the week before, I had my fucking dog, so I couldn't do it. So, me and Jody are doing.
For him so hard when he was on The Amazing Race.
Yeah, we're doing a pod next week.
He's my sister keeps encouraging me to try and get him on the show so we could have a chat, because he's very open and about the struggles he's had with.
Absolutely, man.
Both mental health and PTSD, but along with trying to get just trying to get treatment.
Do you want to get him on?
Yeah, I'd love to have him.
I'll text him as soon as I'm done here. I'll text him and give him your contact shit.
Cool. Yeah.
100% get him. In Ottawa, you could get him on live. I got to do it through this, which I don't like doing. I like to record my shit in here. I can't do that with him. If you want to get Jody on, no problem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, absolutely.
He's always down to talk about that stuff.
Well, that's good, because we're big on, as we talk about mental health openly on the show. Yeah. And I have a whole show dedicated to mental health. And we've got on June, is it the 14th of June?
14th.
June 14th, we're going to be doing our second annual mental health walk, which is we're doing it to put the spotlight on men's mental health and the lack of of resources available to us because they just ignore us, you know?
Yeah. And to encourage guys to talk to each other.
Yeah.
In some cases. I mean, I'm dealing with, I think Veterans Affairs Canada gets a fucking bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that are yelling and screaming, some guys have been legitimately screwed by them.
Yes.
I have not. I've had a very good experience with them, but I'm going to tell you why. Because I accept that it is a government organization, and I accept that there are processes, whether they're fucking make sense or right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There are hoops you have to jump through. And if you do these things, even though it's irritating and annoying,
right,
you will be more successful,
right,
than if you yell and scream and have this entitlement shit.
Yeah, just follow the process and trust that it will work.
Right, and a lot of guys go, "You're a fucking sellout." I'm like, no, man, it's a fucking system, and you need to. If you want the desired end state, whether that's support, whatever it is, you know, or financial compensation for whatever, you have to follow the process, right? Mm-hmm. They're fucking government employees with this bureaucracy of shit, red tape. It's something you have to do. You don't have to like it, right? It's like gravity, man. It's the fucking law. You really like it or not.
Yeah. It's and you're right. There are individuals who will scream about, and then there's other individuals who've been screwed over. But I think
I know a couple of guys who've been legit screwed over or blacklisted, but I also know guys, and they're usually younger guys, you know,
sense of entitlement,
yell and scream, and you know, the guys that are doing that are the same guys were the same way when they were in the fucking military.
Yeah,
they're in the rear rank, yelling and screaming. They'll tell you all the problems.
Yep.
And then you go, okay, well, how do you want us? What do you propose to solve this? And they just look at you like you got a fucking toaster for a head. It's like, shut up. Right? So it's those guys. But I also know guys that have been legit screwed. Like really good guys, senior guys that are, you know, once when you're on their fucking blacklist, buddy, they're not going to help you out.
Yeah.
Well, who was the fella a bunch of years ago? Rick Mercer used to talk about him, who had lost both his legs in Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah.
And each year he had to reapply.
Oh, that was Paul Franklin.
Paul Franklin. There you go. Yeah. Each year he had to reapply.
Yep.
I'm like,
he had to prove his legs didn't grow back.
Yeah.
Like there's dumb shit. Like they got rid of that, but that was the thing back then. So every fucking year, Paul.
Well, that changed under government, right?
Yeah,
that's
had to resubmit this shit to say my legs didn't fucking grow back. I'm not a lizard. Thank you. Yeah. Sign here. Send it. You know,
we had that
it's preposterous, man.
We had that in the gay community too, right? With the people's various health insurances. Yeah, still HIV positive. They haven't found a cure yet. Why do I have to keep on?
Right? Like, why would you exactly right? Why would you have to fucking? Did you come up with the cure that I missed last month? No.
It's like, do you think I would not have taken it?
No, I'm gonna wait for the next one.
Yeah, we'll wait. Yeah.
It's like when I got that shitty AstraZeneca. They wouldn't recognize it in Europe. It was like the fucking 1995 Dodge Neon of vaccines. Really cool at the time, but it's actually a piece of shit, you know? I had to go to Europe right during COVID, and they're like, yeah, the whole planet doesn't recognize this. You got to go get a fucking the J&J one. Whatever, man. So I got 3. I'm like, now I want them all. Even the Russian one. It's like trading cards.
Collect them all.
Like fucking Pokemon trading cards. Like, okay, which one don't I have? I want that one, and I'm gonna go to fucking Russia and get that weird one they have. I want them all.
It's the AstraZeneca. That's like the knockoff Louis Vuitton.
It is, right? It's like you bought it. It's like Oakley's, fake Oakley's. You bought it in a fucking Mexican market. And there's Trudeau getting this shitty ass one. I'm like, what is wrong with this country? Why do we always get the junk thing first? You know,
I think it's Louis.
You could. What was the other one? What was the fucking good one? I got 3 of them.
There was PMP. I had, so it was the first one I had was I said PMP.
No, not the funky cold Moderna. That's the one I got to get.
Moderna was the M, and
the other
P
one
was the other one.
The Pfizer one.
Pfizer.
Yeah.
Pfizer.
Yeah. Pfizer.
Yeah. Whatever the fuck it was. So I gotta get that Moderna one, man. I'm going in. Like, I got all these fucking buddies in the army. They're like, fuck that. I'm not getting the vaccine. I'm like, why? Because blah, blah, blah. I said, dude, I got a needle book with two stapled together. Every time you deploy, you get like fucking 900 shots.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then suddenly now you're not going to get one. I'm like, fuck, I don't care. Load me up, man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into the anti-vax shit.
No.
And I don't want to talk about tariffs either.
No, we're not doing that either.
Good. So yeah,
well, you're right about that though. Whenever they deploy you, it's like the battery of
suddenly you're objecting. Like, why?
Well, here's the thing also, right? It's like, you want to go to the resort, I guess, so you get your hepatitis shot, don't you?
Exactly. Like it's not like fucking
fever, right? Or things you don't like this. But that one you want because you get to lay on the beach, but the other one you don't.
There's tons of countries that you need X amount of vaccines to go
just to enter.
It's not fucking new.
Yeah. Well, Simon King, I don't know if you're familiar with Simon King. He's a Canadian comedian, and he does this bit. First, he does the Northern Alberta accent. Oh, fuck yeah, bud. Oh, yeah, bud.
We actually talk like that out here. I'm not going to lie.
I know. And he says, one of my buddies said he wasn't going to get the vaccine because he didn't know it was in it. And he goes, what? I've seen you snort rails of cocaine off the
right. You don't know what's
urinal in Fort Mac, and you don't know what's in that, right?
The gay version of that is like, I've seen you at a bathhouse. I know what you put in your mouth,
right? But nope, not going to get the vaccine. No, fuck that shit.
I don't know what's in it.
I know what's in there. The government said I got to get it. I'm not doing it because the government told you not to do it. It's like people who think the government is like listening to you through your fucking Alexa machine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I work for the federal government. Trust me, they are the most disorganized fucking thing on the planet. They don't have the resources, time, or people to listen to you talking about anything in your fucking
You're really not that important.
Yeah, exactly. You're not that special, bud. Like no one gives a fuck.
Is the one I heard was, well, I don't want to get one of them new 5G phones, eh? They'll track me. The government's going to track me.
Where do you go that they're interested?
Oh yeah, look at Margie's down to the bingo.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going? That
and the government, the government's going to track you. The private corp that sold you the phone will.
Like, well, I'm worried about my personal information. I'm like, the fucking government has your personal information, man. Don't worry about it.
Have you filed your taxes? Got a social insurance
exactly?
number?
Have you ever? Do you have a SIN number? And have you ever done taxes? They got all your personal information.
There you go.
And they don't give a fuck about you. It's funny. Like
the
government doesn't care about us. Oh, but suddenly they do, and they're listening to you through your fucking Alexa device. I don't think so. What is it? Does the government not care, or they're solely worried about you talking about fucking your wife's sister? I don't think so. Pretty much not.
Oh my god!
Like, go get a fucking hobby, man.
Touch or smoke grass.
One or the other.
You're listening to me. We should get in a truck and drive to Ottawa. This is bullshit. Oh, by the way, okay, this is the only thing I'm going to tell for everybody, because everybody from Ontario, a lot of people from Ontario go to the Dominican Republic. They all think Alberta wants to become the 51st state. Just because I drive a pickup truck by myself and wear camouflage, and I'm a white guy with a short haircut, and I worked in Fort McMurray when I left the army, does not fucking mean I want to be an American. All right. So all you people from Ontario, what you heard one redneck asshole on YouTube and you believe that? No, we don't want that. I just wanted to get that out of there because I know a lot of listeners are
there is one guy who has put up a billboard, and I'm like, he's one guy, and he says, well, we have 200 supporters. Then move, asshole.
Yeah. You know what? Montana is like right over there, man.
Right there.
Get the fuck out.
Hey, y'all, man. We like to be neighborly, eh? We can help you pack and drive you over there. It's your idea.
Oh, too funny. Too funny.
Well, we will help you move.
We do the right neighborly.
Do you really think there's almost 5 million people in Alberta now? Do you really think the other 5 million people out of that 200 is 200? We want to become a state. The other 5 million are going, no, we fucking don't.
You don't want to become a state.
Well, because it's those 200 guys that want to become a state are too fucking stupid to know what they'd be signing up for.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna let's change the trajectory away from that. I don't want to talk about that shit I read about every fucking day.
He's just playing. We're just playing.
I do like wearing camouflage and driving my pickup truck all by myself. The concept of carpooling here does not exist, man.
No.
You get on the fucking road, there's like 900 trucks with one guy in them.
Yeah, and they're all like big
all
trucks.
pissing and moaning. The gas is $1.35. This is bullshit. We fucking pull the gas out of the ground here. Why are we paying so much? Like, you don't really know how it works.
You don't know how it works at all.
They do something to the gas before it goes in your truck.
Yeah, we ship it to Texas where it's refined.
It's the same as the fucking Greenpeace hippies and shit that look at the fucking Athabasca River up north. There's look at the oil in the river. Like, yeah, so it comes and it naturally does that. We didn't create that shit. Like, you understand nature, right? Because you love it. You say you love it. Like, that fucking shit is literally coming out of the ground and going into the Athabasca River. It has fuck all to do with
nobody was drilling.
Crude. Anybody. No, they're taking pictures. Call Leonardo DiCaprio. He's got to see this. Get Neil Young on the fucking phone. Because Neil Young's got a really small carbon footprint, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, look at the oil coming out of the ground. Yeah, it comes out of the ground. Like, we're just looking at it literally coming out of the ground. Like, there's no fucking machinery here at all.
There's no machinery.
You get how this works?
There's no pump jack within 100 meters of this.
Somebody stick your thumb in it.
Yeah. Oh, too fucking funny. Yep. Everybody's pissed off in Alberta. Out here in Alberta, everybody's mad. They got a fucking.
We just lost.
Why does it cost so money to fill up my unnecessarily large truck with a lift kit on it?
we just pissed off Albertans and the environmentalists at the same time.
All my Alberta buddies.
Please come back.
Watching this.
We love you.
I'm not ready for an EV yet.
No.
You will be.
You know what? My cousin's got one in Vancouver.
One day.
So he's got a normal car.
Right.
He's got a fucking Toyota 4Runner to go and do mountain adventuring and shit. But around town, he's got an electric V-Dub, which makes
the way to go.
In van.
Oh, nice.
Let me tell you,
Absolutely.
fucking what? If you're going from Edmonton to Saskatoon and 40 below in the winter to go see,
you don't want to be in an
Bam Jam because you can't have a jerry can of electricity.
No.
There's no fucking way, man. We are not ready for EVs here.
No, and that's the thing, right? In the cities, in the bigger urban areas, great, ideal, right?
I agree, 100%.
It reduces pollution in the city, reduces your operational cost. Great, but if you got to drive, like you say, from Calgary to Saskatchewan to Regina,
some of these guys are like, we need to go all EV. I'm like, so the grid can't support that?
Right now.
Yeah.
But it's like you say jerry can of EV, and I keep on. I have these. I have a weird mind and have these visuals. So you know how you go to a coffee shop, right? Because you can't get a seat because you got all the students plugged in with their outlets, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sitting there like showing up at a coffee shop with your jerry can trying to plug it into the wall.
I'm gonna charge up this jerry can. My fucking EV's broke down. But
you could write your essay later. Give me a double mocha.
No, I'm gonna roll. I don't get me wrong. I think in the next 50 years, the internal combustion engine will be gone.
Oh yeah.
I believe that, and which makes sense. It's called progression and forward movement.
Yeah.
But right now, nope, not where I live. We're not ready for that.
Yeah.
I want my big V8 gas guzzler that I drive around by myself in, and then piss and moan about the price of fuel. That's how we roll in Berta.
And some people don't seem to understand. Just because everywhere is not ready for it doesn't mean if you're ready for it where you are.
No, like downtown Toronto, downtown Vancouver.
Where you're not,
absolutely.
That's fine. Eventually, it will come to you.
Yeah,
it's just going to take a little while as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I never understood this. Like everybody has to do it all at once at the same time. It's like, no, phase it in.
Billy Bob Thornton has a really good line about fossil fuels versus electricity in that movie Landman.
Landman, yeah.
That chick about the windmill. Like, one of those fucking windmills. You want to understand the carbon footprint of one of those windmills?
Mm.
How much diesel goes into the concrete production? How much oil is required to lubricate that thing?
Yeah.
And then this disposal of it when it ages out after 20 years is it is way dirtier than the clean energy it produces. Because if it was that awesome, fucking Suncor, Exxon, whoever would have billions of these things all over the place. So I'm
they
sorry.
they are starting
Look
to do
around
some
your room.
pollution.
Look around where you are right now. You know how much shit is made out of oil?
Oh yeah, everything we're sitting on.
Plastic, fucking your lip balm. There's petroleum shit and everything. So it's like we're not there yet.
That's the thing. Like,
should we be better? Yeah, but like
we will phase it out eventually, but it's going to take time because everything in our environment,
medical supplies,
all medical supplies.
Yeah.
It's all based around petroleum-based.
100%. You're always going to need it. Like until you're not going to make fucking this microphone is not made out of a unicorn horn. Okay, it's not a thing. It doesn't exist. You need plastic to make this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And plastic comes from petroleum
products.
So people need to get their heads around that, man.
Yeah, it was like, there's always going to, well, not always, but there's going to be room for it. But it's like maybe if we at least don't have to burn it.
Yeah,
that's always that's a start.
Yeah, nothing in your world is ever came from hope.
No, I really enjoyed that series, Landman. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Man, it's really good.
It was great, and the way they showed how tough it is working in a patch.
They did
a good job with it.
Dangerous work, man.
It is. Yes. It is very dangerous. And that's what people don't necessarily understand. Like, why do they get so much money? I go, every day they go out, they're risking their lives.
Yeah. No, especially if you're working on a rig.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, Chris, you're up in the patch working on the rigs." Oh no, I'm in an office. I'm a project manager and I build non-process assets and blah blah blah. They think everybody, like, even people here, think I work on the rigs, bud.
No.
Okay, like this isn't the trades with fucking Ricky.
Yeah, that's a good show too.
Rob Wells. That was his birthday yesterday. He's a fucking genius, man.
Oh, really? Did not. Okay.
Yeah, Rob Wells and the trades. It's a funny show.
It's very funny.
I saw the ads for it, and I'm sitting there, I'm going like
it totally stereotypes McMurray.
Like,
it's a 100% stereotype of Fort McMurray.
So are all three there, or is it just that?
No, just
Rob and some other guys.
Cool.
Tom Green's in it.
Yeah.
Neat.
Now the funny thing is, I worked in Fort McMurray for a few years, and it's exactly like that. Oh, yeah. I told all these fucking guys up at site. There's this bar called Patty's. It's a fucking pub. It's gone now, and everybody goes there. And I said, "Hey, listen, if you guys wear your high vis vests into Patty's, I'll give you 5% off." So all these fucking guys were coming in wearing their high vis vests, and then when they're paying up, I thought we were 5% off. I wear my high vis vest. They're looking at me. I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot,
fucker."
How has nobody knocked your block off yet? Serious? It's like,
oh man. Because all you got to do is tell like 2 guys, and then they tell everybody. So all these fucking assholes are walking in wearing their high vis vests and shit, thinking they're getting 5% off. Safety week, man. Where's my deal?
So
I had fun up there. I sure as hell wouldn't want to live there, though, man.
A few years ago here in Ottawa, they dug up all of Elgin Street.
Oh, no.
The whole street was completely dug up from one end to the other. It took about 6 months.
Yeah.
They had to replace the water mains because they were 150 years old.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when they get down there, they discover these are actually in much better shape than we expected. But they said,
you just assumed they were fucked.
Well, no, it's some areas that were in serious. But there are other areas that were like still pretty good, right? So they dug it all up. But so one of the things that the owner here, John of the pump, did he gave. Literally, there was 10% discount for construction workers.
That's cool.
Who were working on that project.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Your business was down, right? So you had to do something.
Like, I've only ever walked Elgin.
Yeah.
Like, is it a major artery?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
It feels like it is, right? So what the hell was the alternative? That must have fucked shit up.
It damaged a lot of businesses, but one of the things that so all the business owners got together and said, well, listen, if you're going to be digging up the street, let's get rid of these telephone poles, these old hydro poles up and down the street. We'll bury the infrastructure.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, an infrastructure project, you might as well do it all while you got the street ripped up.
And the city wasn't going to do that.
Really?
They weren't going to do it. And the business owners got together and said, you absolutely should do this.
Yeah.
You don't need these things here. Yep. And you can put up new light standards wired from underground. It lasts forever. Right. Because it's buried in pipe. It's just a better way to do it. And you don't have to look at the unsightly hydro poles up and down the street, right? So they did it. Brought in new electrical feeds to every bar, restaurant, and establishment up and down the street.
Nice. Look at all the troops weighing in on the chat now, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I will be right back. I need to go see a man about a horse.
Okay, you do that.
Hang tight. Text Lindley. Tell him to get his ass back on here.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly?
Yeah. So, yeah, here we are. Alone again, naturally, as the saying goes, I guess.
It's snowing.
Yes, I know.
Shit.
It's snowing. It's snowing in the nation's capital right now. I looked out and went, oh, yeah. I didn't know it was supposed to snow. I don't know if we're going to get any accumulation, but I can see a little bit. Okay, Ree, that's funny. Buried in pipe. That's what she said. Very true. Very, very true. Australian Place on Elgin? I don't remember an Australian Place ever being on Elgin Street. There's several pubs, hair salon, a couple of restaurants, bunch of restaurants, a lot of restaurants. There used to be a couple of grocery stores, but they're all gone now. One is now a Dollarama, but it has a small grocery aisle there. Australian Place. I don't remember any Australian Place on Elgin Street. 1 second. Terribly sorry about that. I have no recollection of that. Oh, yes. Thank you. Uncover the news. I will put this on the screen. I read about that earlier this morning, actually. Canadian dental care plan has been expanded to include millions of eligible Canadians between the ages of 18 and 64. This was announced earlier today. And May 1st, it's 55 and up, can sign up 55 to 64, I guess. So I'll be signing up May 1st for that, which I'm pretty excited about. And then I think they're staggering it on the 15th. It's 55 to 34, and then after that, it's younger. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a great program. I didn't know if you knew that the Canadian dental care plan is being expanded. Here, I'll put it on the screen here so you can see it. Yeah, it's being extended between the ages of 18 and 64, and as of May 1st, I'll be able to sign up for it.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you. Thank you so much, whoever put that out.
Uncover the news.
Yeah, I could uncover because I was actually talking about that with my beaver sweetie, and I was looking it up at just last week to find out when was the date that it was going to be opening up for that. Good stuff.
Was announced today, and that's not political. That's a health factor.
This is news you can use.
Yes.
Simply. Yeah.
Swagman Jack's. Okay. Where was Swagman Jack's? It used to be here on Elgin Street.
I think so, yeah. Right where the seafood place is now.
No, you mean
it's brown with big windows. I can't remember that it's a seafood place now. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. It's the the whale's bone. Whale's bone.
No, the other one, I think.
That's the whale's bone is the seafood place. It's the only seafood place.
Okay.
Yeah. Swagman Jack's. I don't remember that though. I remember the name.
I remember the name. I'd never been in.
I got to look it up now because it's going to bug the hell out of me. I do remember the name. I just don't remember the place. Swagman.
I think that the sign was like red and yellow. Well, white on background, but Swagman Jack's was
Swagman
red
Jack's,
and yellow.
Ottawa.
If I remember correctly.
283 Elgin Street is where it was.
Okay. Let's see what's there now.
Swagman Jack's. Wow, I completely forgot about that.
Me too. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
It's between Somerset, right at the corner of Elgin and McLaren.
So it's now Harmon's Steakhouse?
Harmon's Steakhouse.
Okay, so it's a steakhouse. Sorry, not seafood.
Yeah, that was so before.
I probably saw Surf and Turf special. That's why I thought it was a seafood place.
Yeah, because it had been an Irish pub.
Yes.
For many
I love Irish pubs.
There was I can't remember Swagman Jack's. Wow, that's bringing one back. I completely forgot about
must
that.
Be at least 10 years ago.
Oh, more than that. Harmon's has been open for 5 years, and before that, right on Elgin Street, it used to be the Fox and Feather.
I've been there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's now called Harmon.
20 years.
Yeah, it's called Harmon's now, but I guess before it was the Fox and Feather, it was Swagman Jack's. But I'm blanking on it. I don't remember that at all. I guess that was an Australian style place, but I don't remember that at all. I remember the name, but I can't picture the place. Because I used to go into Fox and Feather every now and then. That was a nice little pub. They had a nice little spot upstairs.
The wildest bar I've ever been to is called Captain Jack's in Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
You get a hooker and a tattoo in this bar.
Not necessarily in that order.
Not in that order. No, they closed that place down.
I wonder why.
It's fucking crazy, man.
You get a hooker. You get a
I was
tattoo.
just thinking, you know what I was thinking about? So we can avoid tariff talk and shit. AI scares the shit out of me, man.
It's pretty trippy, man. I don't know what to make of it.
Thank God Apple AI is junk. Do you guys have an iPhone?
No.
Okay. So if you ask Siri what month it is, it doesn't know what the fuck you're asking it. I'm going to show you right now. So everybody watching this shit, if you got an iPhone, grab it right now and go like this. What month is it? Oh, it said it's Saturday, 22 March, but 2 days ago it says, I don't understand what you're asking me.
I don't understand what you're asking.
Siri, what month is this? Oh, now it just gives me the exact date. But 2 days, the Apple fixed it because there's an article like Siri couldn't fucking tell you what month it was. Like, I don't understand. Like, what?
I read this thing the other day where somebody was asking AI about stuff, like about Canada. They were asking the first thing, and they were reading it, and they're like going, this doesn't seem right. And then would ask, are you sure?
There's this guy
and then AI would turn around and go, I looked at it again, and turns out I was wrong.
Yeah,
it's like,
happens.
So you always have to ask your AI, are you sure?
Right? So, there's a dude in Norway who's suing ChatGPT because fucking ChatGPT is telling the world he's a serial killer and killed his kids. And he didn't.
Oh my God.
We're legit, man.
That is not cool.
No.
That is not cool.
AI's fucked. And then like some of the shit they're coming out with now, your algorithm and Instagram. So mine, all it shows me now is these fucking robots in Korea that know Kung Fu.
Or when they're dancing like really groovy. It's like,
no, this is
dancer.
Fucking,
I know what
yesterday I watched this fucking
into.
robot made in Korea is kicking the shit out of this heavy bag. Like, oh my God, man. Everything I believe in the Matrix and fucking Terminator is coming to life. Yeah, so there's Kung Fu robots, and there's this influencer with Down syndrome. So I got all these Down syndrome singers showing up in my algorithm. And Kung Fu robots, and that is it. I'm like, man, I got to change my shit.
Was the Down syndrome thing really recent?
It's everywhere. There's this one guy. He's got to be a fucking millionaire. And I'm not making fun of people that are retarded, okay? I used to be a word back in my day. This guy's got Down syndrome, and he's singing like Don't Stop Believing by Journey. And he's got 8 million viewers.
Holy shit.
What the fuck is going on in this fucking planet?
Yeah, I think
and then I'll scroll up, and then suddenly is this fucking robot making Koreans kicking the shit out of this heavy bag. I'm like, and it's fast, buddy. It's blood. Like, wow, man.
Yeah.
AI scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that shit. Fucking, if you watch Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and The Matrix, at some point, these fucking robots are gonna go, you guys are fucking idiots. We're done with you.
What was it? Somebody said, what happens if we ask AI, how do we fix the climate crisis on the planet? And somebody said, don't ask the AI that, because the only answer would come up with
humans.
Kill all humans. Right.
Yep. It's coming, man.
Yes. AI knows we're the virus.
Everything, like, I thought I had to buy a new fridge. My ice maker shit the bed, and that's a deal breaker. I have to have an ice maker on my fridge, right?
Right.
Again, functioning alcoholic, you need an ice maker. Like, the fuck are you gonna do?
How else do you get?
And then there's
your alcohol.
They got these smart fridges like that have cameras and tell you when you're out of milk. Like, I fucking know I'm out of milk.
I open the door.
I don't need a notification.
I remember the last time I took milk.
Remember to get milk. Like, no.
I remember the last time I poured milk. There's still just like 1/8 of the bag left. The thing I need to go buy more.
Douglas, are you that fucking guy that leaves like a millimeter of milk in the thing?
No, but my Beaver Sweetie is.
left this milk. And they're like, what the fuck, man? You couldn't have drank that?
My beaver sweetness, but I didn't need any more. Yes, but now I'm like pouring the milk in my bowl of cereal, and I got like
irritating, man.
It's like I've got this much cornflakes and this much milk, and I got
not working. Not working.
My roommate Dave, he's got this problem. He doesn't close like cupboards. Like we get a cup, and he leaves the fucking door open. And I lose my shit.
No.
I got a bit of OCD, and I hate people who say, "Oh, I have OCD." Actually, I hate people who say, "I got PTSD from this." I'm like, don't fucking use that word around me, because you have no idea.
You have no idea.
Yeah. Right. Like unless you've been shot at or been on fire, blown up, whatever. I want to hear your fucking PTSD because the traffic was bad. But yeah, I get it. Like Dave won't close the door. I'm like, do you do that on purpose? Like, are you trying to fucking piss me off? Like how you grab a glass, you close the fucking cupboard door. No, can't do it. Just walks away. He leaves every light on everywhere he goes. I'm like, okay, no.
I have a nephew who
drives me nuts, man.
Stand by your man.
we're at my folks' place, and it was somebody's birthday. I don't remember who it was. And my nephew was sitting in the kitchen. He's eating a piece of cake, and a big chunk of the cake falls off his plate onto the kitchen floor. And he just looks at it and starts to walk away. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa.
And what are you doing?
Bro, what are you doing? He goes, what? I go, clean that up. And he goes, why? I'm like, you just drop, you don't do that. And in the way his head processes, the way his brain processes, is like, oh yeah.
I'll remember that. I'll put that later. You could step on it.
Just the way his brain works. It's not malicious. It's not, it's not intentional in that I'm not doing that. It's just, and just walked away.
Damn.
Well, you can't like beat kids anymore. So.
But yes, by the way, don't beat your kids.
Don't beat your kids.
No, I'm not suggesting that you don't or do that. But if your kid's out of control and you feel like slapping him upside the friggin' head will like sort him out a little bit, you make that decision. But now they just call a number on the back of the milk carton. That's
you're getting broccoli
put it in the fridge. And the cops show up, social services. Well, Billy said you hit him. Like, yeah, he's an idiot.
He had it coming.
What did you think? We're just going to sit down and have this conversation? He's fucking 12. He's being an asshole. I slapped him upside the head. First time I ever got knocked out was my old man. And I deserved it. But that was, 1985. Can't do that. Can't do that anymore.
No.
Oh, my God. Everybody's so fucking sensitive these days.
I'm very, very happy to report that nobody's ever had to smack me upside the head. Thank God.
But that's how you ended up going to Montreal by yourself and no one knew you were there.
Yeah. Indeed.
No, I don't know, man.
2 weeks.
I'm not telling. I don't have kids, so I can't weigh in. I can just tell you how I was brought up. It was a fuck around and find out.
Yeah. For anybody who's wondering, I didn't get up to anything terrible over the 2 weeks, but because I actually was.
So you claim.
Because I was actually a good kid. Now, I was 16 and in bars underage, but I was 16 with a full beard, so I never got carded. I've never been carded.
Yeah, but you're in Quebec, man. Like, whatever.
Yeah, but but here's the thing. The only time I've ever been carded is in the United States in those bars where they have to, like, you're 90 and they card you anyway.
Oh, yeah, everybody gets
everyone, right? I had a mustache at 10, a hairy chest at 12, and a full beard at 13. I remember going to the Surport.
Are you like Italian?
No, not at all. Nobody in my family is like, I'm sorry, Mom. I love you. It's been 20 years since she passed. I'm saying, but other than me, my mom is the hairiest person in the family.
Oh my God.
Right? Nobody is hairy in my family. I do not know where it comes from. And we're going to Super X and the Labatt Blues tent. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like this, there's always a blues band. And I was 13. I was there with my brother Robert and my mom, like this. And I'm 13, and they waved us in. Like this. I had 3 beers with my mom and my brother, 13. And I got back. So you
didn't need a fake ID or nothing.
From the age of 13 to 30, I was 24 years old in the eyes of people.
Nice. That's a good run, man.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
51.
Fucking shit in yellow. Paul, how old are you?
I'll be 57 in July.
Okay, you're the old man on the show.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good for 54. I still got fucking.
Yeah, you still got a full head of hair.
Set of hair.
And it's not even
beard's
gray.
going gray, but I'm doing all right. I see guys that are like fucking. This dude, we brought him into our club there, and he looks fucking old.
Oh yeah.
I said, how old are you? He goes, I'm 46. I'm like, Jesus, man.
You got city miles on you.
Father time has been beating your ass with a stick.
Those are city miles.
I thought the guy was 60. Wow. Yeah.
Every now and then I get hit with something like that. I'll be sitting somewhere talking to somebody and well, where'd you go to school?
You don't look 57 or whatever. Like you're fucking doing good.
Thanks. But when I come across somebody who goes, oh, where'd you go to school? I went here. Where'd you go? I went there too. When did you go? I went 82 to 84. He goes, oh, I went 86 to 88. And I go, oh, am I older than you? He goes, yeah, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm like, turns out I'm like 4 years older than this guy. And I thought he was
90,
15 years older than me.
I know, man. I run into a lot of guys that have fucking hard miles.
Yeah. And I got to wonder, is it stress? Is it mental health? Is it bad lifestyle?
It's genetics, man, because people go, Chris, genetics. Well, how do you look so young? I said, well, rage, nicotine, excessive alcohol. That's how you look this good.
Yeah, by all metrics, you should look older than you.
The way, buddy, I should. I'm like, it's got to be. It's just genetics. Man.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because like I fucking am not like living the healthiest lifestyle. But yeah, you see these guys, man. For
me, it's definitely genetics. My mom, both my parents are mixed race, but my dad, if you look at him, you see a black man. Black don't crack, right? Because my dad didn't start to look anywhere near his age, I think, until he hit 70.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My dad looks great for 76.
Yeah, and always looked good, but always looked like 15 or 16 years younger, like until 70. And then so, okay, are you 64? Are you 60? And my mom was the same thing. She always pretty good genes. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I won't have to get this jacked up anytime soon.
The only work I'd ever have
Botox.
done. I mean, I admittedly
will get it jacked up.
I miss having hair, but Bridget's fine with this. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, I like it. I'm like, okay. I miss having hair. But if I was going to get something done, the two things I would like to get done, and one is they're both health related actually, is to get my nose fixed because it's been broken a number of times.
Oh, my
nose!
I can't breathe out of my fucking mouth breather.
Exactly. I have a lot of issues. So that's the one thing, and then my teeth because,
Well, that's kind of like shit you should do. Teeth for sure.
And now that the dental plan is opening up, I'm going to be going to the dentist. Probably.
I got a broken tooth that needs to come out.
Oh shit! That's both unpleasant and expensive.
Well, I'm gonna go do it in Mexico. It's cheaper.
Oh yeah,
way cheaper. Pull this fucking thing out.
An excellent dentistry, by the way.
Yeah.
Mexico
dental costs, like definitely in Alberta, are fucking ridiculous.
Oh,
man.
It's insane, dude. It's insane, and I mean, I'm glad it's finally becoming part of the national healthcare program because.
Well, it should
Last
be.
time I checked, its teeth are in my mouth, which is in my head, which is,
It's kind of like part of my body. It's how I eat celery. Thank you. Actually, I just had some moose jerky, man. It was pretty good.
Oh, nice. What was it I said?
Canadian as fuck, boys.
Somebody said the other day, your teeth, excuse me, your teeth are the only part of your skeleton you can see whenever you want to look at it. And I went, holy shit, you're right.
That's deep. Yeah, that's true.
It's true, right?
If you can see any other part of your skeleton, you need to go to the fucking hospital, man.
Immediately.
Now.
Immediately.
Don't walk, run.
Get to the emerge as quickly as possible.
Oh, I don't want to ever go to a friggin' emerge thing again in my life. I got epiglottitis last year. That was the last thing I Googled. You know those guys that show up and they're on fucking WebMD and they're telling the doctor, "That's what I have." I Googled it. So I did that, and it was the last thing I had, and I was actually right. but I didn't tell the doctor. So I was sitting in this fucking north side of Merge in like the ghetto part of northeast Edmonton, just up from where Paul was staying for 9 hours. And my ex-wife worked there. And then like I couldn't even speak, man.
Oh yeah.
I was getting ready to go camping. I'm like, no.
It could have killed you. Like
you could have. I was at 2 millimeters of airway. By the time they x-rayed me, they lost their fucking minds, man. They put me into the crash room and hooked me up to all this shit. I'm like, what's going on here? They're like, you could be dead.
Yeah.
You got 2 millimeters of airway.
They
fucking took me to the U of A hospital and jacked me full of steroids and shit. I couldn't wait to get out of there. These two fucking old men were fighting out in the hallway at 2 a.m. They're like in their fucking 80s. Both post-op, these two old dudes yelling and screaming at each other. I walk out, I got a fucking EKG tree and an IV bag. I'm in this like hospital pajamas and said, shut the fuck up or I'm gonna come fuck you guys up. And these nurses are just there in shock. I'm like, I've had enough of this shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Next day I'm leaving. They're letting me out. I'm like, because I was leaving anyway. I'm like, fuck this. I'm out of here. I can't stay here. And I go by the room and the one guy's gone. The other guy is like fucking handcuffed to his bed and he's fucking 80. I'm like, oh man. Yeah, but epiglottitis, normally it's a thing that only happens to the kids.
Right.
I obviously licked the wrong doorknob at Sherlock Holmes or something. And I got this. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? And I still got the picture of the x-ray where
you killed him. He's got food coming out of his nose.
My epiglottis is like the size of a fucking baseball. Yeah, buddy. It was not good, man.
Did they have any idea what caused it? Was it like an allergic reaction?
It's viral. So yeah, I could have licked the wrong doorknob, Douglas. I'm not gonna lie, man. Well, I was in Sherlock's. I'm like, geez, that looks pretty good.
Give her a taste, eh?
No, I have no idea where the hell I got it from. It's fucking viral, and it was not good.
Chris, just knobs, not doorknobs. Just knobs.
Yeah, right.
Somebody gave you the wrong instructions.
Apparently, I did it wrong.
You did it wrong,
and then I got epiglottitis, which sucked. Wrecked my. Yeah. So, needless to say, I didn't go camping. Thank God, because I don't go. I refuse.
Yeah.
To go to the Emerge. And this is going to sound racist, but hear me out. There's a lot of people from other countries that bring their whole fucking family in a minivan down because the kid's got a sniffle.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. Here's where I'm from Alberta. Just give me a minute here. I'm wearing a camo ball. What do you expect? I get it. A lot of these people come from a country with no fucking health care.
None. Exactly.
Nothing. And now, like, it's free. Of course, they're gonna do that. I don't blame them.
No, hell no, not at all. Not at all.
It's cool. I get it, but it's like when you're sitting in there for 9 fucking hours. There was this guy next to me. It's irrelevant the color of his skin or religion, nothing. And he's on the phone with his buddy, and I could hear the phone. It's loud, right? He's like, "Well, why are you down at the Emerge?" And the guy says, "Well, I just don't feel good." So he's queued up.
That's not what the Emerge is for.
No, man. No. It's like, okay, I'm losing my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, I got to get out of here. So yeah, it took me, because the last time, like, I almost cut my thumb off with a mandolin. It went right down the nail. Like, it was fucking blood everywhere. And like my ex-wife, Sarah, she was a nurse, and my buddy's a paramedic. I said, okay, so I'm going to go into shock pretty quick here.
Yeah.
Here's what I need you to do. Go get the crazy glue and a bunch of other stuff. It's in there. Because there's fucking blood everywhere. Like, it was bad. Well, you got to go get stitches. I'm like, the fuck I'm doing that. Sit there for 16 hours with 4 tons of gauze wrapped around my thumb. You couldn't stitch it anyway. It was along the thumbnail. Like, there was no way.
Yeah, wasn't going to happen.
I said, crazy glue and these suture things. Because I got a level 3 trauma med kit under my sink.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because I'm tactical combat casualty care qualified, so I got all this fucking cool shit. I'm like, you're a nurse and you're a paramedic. Are you seriously can't solve this right now? Yeah, you can. Let's go, because I'm starting to feel really weird. And when you shock, have you ever?
And you're going to go into shock.
I know I am. I've been there, right? Like, there's a lot of blood coming out real quick, and I'm starting to feel fucking shitty. And like, I'm going to go into shock. So I need you to sort this out now. So they did. I don't like going to it's awesome. The concept of universal free healthcare is great, but there's a lot of fucking flaws. Not that we're going to get into it, but there's a lot of
gaps.
flaws,
yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You know,
I'm thankful we have it though.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, a few years back, I had what turned out to be cellulitis in my elbow.
Yep.
And which is normally it happens in your leg, your leg.
Where I had it,
and I thought it was bursitis. And I went. I was at a party on a Saturday night or Friday night. I can't remember. It was a birthday party.
Yep.
Birthday party housewarming, and two of my friends that were there are physicians. They're doctors, and they're looking at it. They go, "You need to go to Emerge tomorrow." And if you don't go, I'm going to come and take you myself. Right. I'm like, really? They go, yes, Paul, that is not normal. That is not bursitis. So sure enough, I go in and and I've got my sciatica is acting up, so I can hardly walk. And I sit down for the triage nurse, and she's like, "What's the problem?" And I show her my elbow. She goes, "No problem." And she goes, "Go have a seat. We'll call you in a minute." I sat down. I might have been in my seat 30 seconds. They called my name, had me in a bed, had me on an IV.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
Like right away. They're like, cellulitis will kill you.
Yep.
It'll kill you if you don't treat it right away.
Yep.
So they had me on an IV for a few days, and then I had to go into the hospital to get a PICC line put in, which is when they put a little incision right here in your bicep.
Yeah.
They go into an artery, and they put this little tube that goes 1 centimeter from the entrance to your heart, and it pumps. You have a 24-hour pump. It just pumps antibiotics directly into your heart. And I wore that for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yours was more advanced than mine. I was working at the Canadian International Development Agency, and I was about to go to Nepal and India on a trip, which meant Ottawa to Montreal, Montreal to Bangkok, Bangkok to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Nepal.
Jesus.
Sorry.
That's a fucking...
And on the day that I was supposed to leave, like this, my leg got really big, and I was limping and limping and limping. And it's like my flight's tomorrow morning at 7. I really, really want. It would have been the furthest I'd ever been from home. But literally, I would be going around the world by the time I came back.
Yeah.
I really, really wanted to do this. I really wanted to do this. And somebody suggested you really do need to go to the hospital and check. And I went and I got there. They looked at it and said, "Yeah, you're going nowhere."
Yeah.
Apparently, had I had got there, I may have gotten to Vancouver. But had I gotten on the plane to Vancouver, I would have lost my leg.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, it
goes so fast. It spreads so fast.
Well, and when they sat me down, they took a purple marker and encircled my elbow. And I said, "What'd you do that for?" He goes, "I want to see how much it advances in the next 45 minutes." And he comes back. He goes, "Yeah, we got to get you on more antibiotics." It was, and I had never heard of this before.
Same thing. I thought, what, you can get this actually in your cellulite?
Yeah. I had no idea. So a couple of days later, I'm sitting here in the pub, and I got the pump with me. My buddy goes, "What the hell's that for?" And I go, "Oh, I got cellulitis in my arm." And he turns gray. I go,
"Really?
What's up?" He goes, "That's what killed my mother."
Oh no.
I went, "Oh shit."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Yeah, Paul, that is really serious stuff. It can kill you." I had no idea. Never heard of it before.
Same here.
No, I'd never heard of epiglottitis. I've only been in a hospital 2 times in my life.
Oh, really?
The first time was in 1991. I was rappelling Aussie style, and I fell 32 feet.
Jesus.
And landed on my wrist. I crushed my wrist and lost my nose, and I was all fucked up. So it's like, okay, can't really drink through this. So I go to the fucking hospital, get casted up, and that's where I learned about Demerol. And I got to tell you, man, it was good. And then last time was last year with that epiglottitis shit. I should have fucking said something. You know, I didn't want to be that guy. And then that's what it was. And it took 9 hours and they lost their shit. I'm like, I kind of fucking knew that. And I just didn't want to be that asshole who internet researches every fucking thing wrong with them.
Well, in an instant like that, you should just go, can't breathe, can't. And they triage immediitely. You get taken care of immediately.
When I have anaphylaxis.
Well, I get missed triage, and my ex-wife was working there. Like she knew I was like, I'm sitting there fucking like that, And there's some, a lot of crazy people show up at these fucking things, right? Ranting and raving and yelling and screaming. There's fights and fucking security's coming and stuff.
Yep.
I just sat there and like, no, shut the fuck up, blah, blah, blah. Because normally I just fix myself.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I slice my arm open. Okay, well, deal with it. The last place on earth I want to go is to a fucking emerge. Yeah. It's just a nightmare, man.
But sometimes you just go like, I had whenever, because I'm allergic to wheat, like this sometimes I get cross-contaminated.
Allergy shit. Yeah, you can't.
But literally, stuff. I run to the hospital like this, and if my throat's closing, like I just like knock on the window, show my EpiPen, point to my throat, and right in.
Yeah.
So because they don't mess with that.
I don't understand why EpiPens aren't free. Like why you
they should be.
Really
they should be free.
Yeah, they surely should not be 140.
All you ladies out there, you shouldn't have to pay for fucking tampons. It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
What the tampons should be free.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. Should be.
Gonna get shirts made.
You need them.
You can't get around without them.
No, like how the fuck do you charge women for shit they have to have?
Have to. You have no choice.
Man. Yeah. There's countries where they're free.
Yeah.
There is. And there's Scandinavian countries. That shit's free. You don't fucking pay for that stuff.
You shouldn't have to.
You ever go shopping for tampons? Buddy, it's fucking a nightmare, man. I go in there. And like I'm not scared to buy them. Some men have a stigma on buying their old ladies tampons. You're in there and she's like, I want this one, blah, blah, blah. And you look, there's a fucking, it's like condoms, man. Like how many possible brands and shit could you possibly have?
But let's be, not all the condoms are for you.
The army gives them out free, but they're shitty ones, right? They're not like good, sensitive feel, whatever. But you're standing there in the fucking tampon aisle. You're like, and women are laughing at you because they know you don't have a friggin' clue
you don't know
what you're doing. There's like, it's like how many possible brands, combinations, and shit could there be? It makes no sense. So I don't know. So, anyways, all the ladies that are watching, listening, fucking, you shouldn't have to pay for tampons. That's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've long thought so, especially when you consider somebody who's,
and they're not cheap, man.
No, that's
they're not fucking cheap.
So let's look at the single mother.
Conversation. We're on to tampons now.
But the single mother
to avoid tariffs. Anything to avoid tariffs. We're talking tampons.
Tampons, not tariffs. But you think about the single mom who has like 3 kids and works 3 jobs,
I'm talking about, right?
And is fighting just to put food on the table, and now she's got to go out and spend what, however many dollars on
$40
a box.
a month. I don't know, like the fucking shit that should be given to her.
Yeah,
makes no sense. Makes no sense to me.
Well, I couldn't agree more, sir.
We just solved a global problem.
Well,
we just got to get him to sign on to it. Yeah.
I'm going to ask Carney or Polyev or what are you going to do to deal with the tampon crisis in Canada, bro?
Actually, that would be an awesome question because I would love to see the reaction.
I don't give a fuck about the F-35. I want to talk about tampons.
I want to talk about tampons.
Yeah. Especially if you brought it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Gear.
Like, well, it would look so awesome coming from you, right?
People be like, are you off your fucking meds?
No, dudes, I'm serious, man.
No, I'm serious about this shit, huh? Yeah.
If you gave them for free, I wouldn't have to go buy them for my old lady. Because I never remember which one she wants, and then she's got to take a picture of the box, and I'm in the store. I'm like, fuck. Okay, and you're looking and looking, and I get like, it's like going into the TNT Chinese supermarket where you get sensory overload.
Yes.
There's just so much shit you can't even.
Much stuff.
Like, I just want some soy sauce and I don't even know where the fuck to go.
Too many orders out of all at once. I don't know what to do.
And I love going to the Chinese supermarket, man, but it is massive sensory fucking overload.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you are. You're in the fucking tampon aisle. There's 8,000 boxes. They're all green and pink. You don't know what to buy. You're texting your woman. And she's not answering. So you're standing there like, fuck, man. And then finally, I'm like, can you send a picture of which ones you want? The ones with the fucking, the wings. No, that's the pads. Anyway.
How did you
like,
get yourself past?
Finally, you get the picture. So you're looking at it. You're going down the aisle. And you finally find the fucking things. And then you get them. You get back. And she's mad because it's the wrong size. And you're just like, I'm going to go to get it.
How was I supposed to know?
This is why I drink.
How was I supposed to know the kids' sizes?
I didn't know. I don't know. Like, I don't use these things.
I thought it was one size fits all.
You think it would be.
I think
I'm learning this.
No, they're different.
It's
had no idea.
shit show. If the government just sent it to them every month, like they signed up, like I get government weed.
Yeah.
It shows up on my door. You go online, you pick what you want, and they send it to you. Why the fuck can't they do that with tampons, man?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's you know what, ladies, you deserve it, and B, us men don't have to go buy that shit ever again. It's the fucking worst.
See, that's
the real reason. That's how you sell it.
That's how you sell it, though, right?
Listen, I don't want to do it anymore.
Have you ever been embarrassed?
Up every time? Like I never get the right one.
Yeah. That's how you sell it to the government, though, right?
Oh my God.
You go after Pierre Poilievre's supporters and go, fellas, are you tired of having to go to the store, pick up a box of tampons on your way home from work when all you want to do is just meet the fellas and have a beer?
And it's not that I'm embarrassed to go buy tampons.
No.
It tells you that everybody around that you have a woman in your life.
Yes.
It's because they fuck it up every time.
And then get home and get yelled at because you got it wrong.
That's the thing.
It's like, fuck, man.
It's the fucking it up part, right?
There's too many. There's just too many of them.
Yeah.
There's too many brands. It's unbelievable how big that aisle is. It's the same as, like I said, the condom aisle. Like, holy shit, man. There's fucking 88 brands. This one's
and that's how you sell it to conservatives.
This one's this one's ultra thin. Fucking this one's naturally biodegradable. You can put it in the green bin when you're done.
Here's the thing: 88 brands, but they're all owned by 4 companies.
Oh, exactly, right? Like, fuck, man.
Choice is an illusion. It's an illusion,
Yeah. Anyways, we can move on from tampons. I think everybody got the point.
Yeah, we got the point. Yeah. Well made, sir. Well made.
Tampons, good. Next.
Let's talk about what women have to remember for the men. I have no idea.
Give a fuck, man.
Just tell us what to wear and when to show up.
Yeah.
Oh man. The older I get, I stopped arguing with women fucking 30 years ago. There's no point. If you get into an argument with a woman, okay, here's how it goes. You're wrong.
Right. That's it.
Because if you're right, she's mad because you're right. If you're wrong, she's mad because she was right. Like, you're fucking fucked either way. There's no
just
point
don't
in
even
arguing
bother. Yeah.
No.
I had that with my beaver sweetie one day. We were arguing at one point like this, and we're going at it like this, and then he makes a really, really good point. It's like,
then you got mad.
How dare you make a good point when I'm mad at you?
Right? It's fucking. Man.
Yeah. Well,
there's no point in arguing.
When I realize this is pointless, I'm taking the dog for a walk. Like, literally, because this is pointless to continue with this conversation. I can't win, so I'm not even going to bother.
So it's like you're at home and you're fucking fighting, and she won't talk to you. So then I'm like, where are you going? I'm going to the bar.
We're not done talking.
And then she's mad. I'm like, well, you're not talking to me. Like you're going to be fucking mad either way. So I might as well be drunk when I get back. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then they start crying. Oh, fuck, man. And then, when they start crying, there's nothing you can do. You can't. That's when you can't leave.
Yep. No.
Right?
True.
When they're mad, you can fucking walk out. But when they start crying, you're fucking trapped, man. Like, you can't go anywhere. You have to sit there and eat shit because they're crying. Fuck, man. I just can't explain it.
The dude who walked out when they were crying.
When they're mad, exactly. You deserve to sit there and eat shit because you should have left when she was mad at you.
Yes. You picked the wrong time.
You should have went to the pub when she was mad. Now she's crying. You can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere now.
You got to sit there and fucking take it and pretend. You got to do a lot of pretending. Like, oh yeah, I get it. I understand. Me and my girlfriend fight all the fucking time. I don't even know if we're together or not right now. I hope she's not watching this. But they're always like, men and women are very different. This isn't a fucking stand-up act. I'm just telling you what I think.
Yeah.
Oh, me and my mom are fighting again. Well, yeah, fuck, of course you are. How come men are never fighting with their moms, but women always are? They're always fighting with their mom.
It's true. I don't fight with my mother.
No,
I've had.
Oh, my mom's fucking passed away, but you know we didn't fight. But women are always fucking fighting with their mom all the time. I don't know never one chick in my entire life who got along with their mom. I don't know. I can't read the comments because I'm old and going blind. But if any women want to weigh in on this, I want to name fucking one of you guys that gets along with your mom. I'm going to say you're full of shit.
I had one fight with my mom.
Did you?
Yeah.
But you were wrong.
One. No, I was actually right this time. Actually.
Oh no!
I was.
There's no fucking way.
No, I was right.
Moms are always right.
No, I was right because it was something that I was right because it was something that she taught me that she had forgotten that she had taught me.
Oh, actually, she was right, but she forgot.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Okay, look at the section blowing up now, man. People
exactly. So my mom had a stroke at one point, like this, and left her hemiplegic on one side.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're having, and when you're recovering from a stroke, sometimes it takes a while to get back to yourself, right? So at one point,
I've not had one, but yeah, and I had a friend who had one, bad one. She recovered.
Yeah. So there was some every now and then, like she would spark into anger. So we would have this argument. She was sparking into anger, and because she was hemiplegic on one side, she couldn't roll right. She had to like with her foot.
Oh, jeez.
So she's trying to get away like this. So she's just like she's got away, and I just like stick my hand out and grab the back of the wheelchair. It's like, you're not going anywhere.
Oh no.
And she turns around and she looks at me and she goes, fuck you. And I turn around and say, well, fuck you too. And she goes, how dare you talk to your mother that way? She says, I was raised by a woman that told me not to take any shit from anybody, including my mother. So there you go. And then she was like,
oh, okay, boom. It's like that. It's like fucking touche. Right?
It was the only argument I've ever had with my mom in my entire life.
I just find women are always
she was like,
fucking...
and she didn't know whether to be mad or proud of me. I listened.
They're always mad at their moms, the women, man, and they always tell you a bunch of shit you're not interested in. You got to pretend you are. It's fucking horrible.
I'll tell you a funny story. I'll relate to you that years ago, this is, oh God, it must be 25 years ago. My mom and dad and one of my sisters, they were driving somewhere on their way to go somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And they see a Dairy Queen as they're driving along the road. And my mom says to my dad, oh, Gord, would you like some ice cream? And he goes, no, and just kept driving. A few minutes later, she gets mad. Well, why didn't you stop for ice cream?
He missed the plot, man.
And he goes, well, I didn't want any. She goes, well, I wanted some.
Well, why
and she gets mad at him.
Right.
And then my sister in the back seat says, Mom, you have no right to get mad at him. You asked him a question. He gave you an answer.
Yeah.
If you wanted ice cream, you should have told him you wanted ice cream.
Yeah, but their brain don't work like that.
That's the thing. That is
figure it the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
My beaver sweetie does that to me though. She asks me, would I like something? And if I don't, then he goes, but I would. Well, why don't you just say I would like
just fucking say that?
That's the thing. It's like most guys are just like
fucking code, and you got to figure it out, man.
Do you want this? No, I'm good, thanks.
See, by the way, if any of the kids watching happen to be, fabulous and rainbow, just know we have the exact same problems. The fact that you're dating someone of the same sex doesn't change anything.
You know what? I'm going to tell you guys right now.
We're two guys, and we still have problems with the toilet seat. Okay, it doesn't change.
Really?
Because if you leave the toilet seat up and somebody needs to go to sit down and the seat's up, we have the same damn thing.
That is fucking hilarious, man.
Funny. That's funny.
It does not change.
I will solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded before I'll understand fucking women.
Bro,
and I love them. I love them, but it's like I can't read your mind.
For some reason, I think I understand women. It's men I can't figure out.
I love my lady. I love my lady.
Me too.
I love women.
I love all women. I just don't. It's not you.
I'll never understand.
It's not them. It's me. I just don't get what you're talking about.
Well, that was a great example, though, of the different ways men and women communicate, though, right? And my mom, I wanted something. Well, then ask for it or say you want it. Don't suggest.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, man. If it wasn't for sex, we'd be at war against women. We'd be fucking men versus women, be killing each other in the streets. Like, other than basic biology and reproduction and fucking sexual, we'd be fucking at war. Because there's no way.
The Bill Burr thing, and he does this bit.
Love Bill Burr. He's my fave, him and Chappelle.
He's hilarious. He does this bit about, he says, gay guys are always the happiest wherever you go.
They are.
He goes, you go to a bar, mixed crowd, and the gay man, straight man, lesbians, married men. You can always tell the lesbians who are in a relationship because they look exactly like the 42-year-old suburban father.
Yep.
Hates his life. He's miserable. And he goes, but the gay guys, they're just happy. They're having a great time.
Whoop, whoop. It's the remix. This is
my cousin's gay because everybody has a gay cousin, whether you know it or not.
Yeah. True.
And he's the happiest fucking guy I ever met all the time. Even when he get in a fight with his boyfriend,
he's still happy.
That guy had really shitty teeth, man. I'm like,
happy. Just saying.
But he was happy. I'm like, why are you so fucking happy all the time? He goes, because I'm gay. Really? Man. Is it naturally?
Yes.
Okay.
Douglas, we scratch it.
Ooh, is there ever?
Fabulous. Yay.
Tell me about the community. Have you ever met a miserable fucking gay man? I haven't. They're all happy all the fucking time.
Unfortunately, just by the law of averages and statistics, yes, I have met an unhappy gay person. I have
like one.
One. There's one guy.
And I have
one guy.
And
there's one pissed off gay guy in the whole fucking planet. That's it.
I'm just telling you, it's like when you're
he's got to ruin the curve.
When you're a little gayling and you're growing up and you're just getting your little gay wings like this, and you're taught about like all the
gay wings, you're figuring it out.
Yes, like this, but all the ways you're supposed to be fabulous, and you encounter your first unfabulous gay person, your whole world falls apart.
I can imagine it would.
It's like, wait a minute, you're one of us? No, you can't be one of us.
Yeah, you don't belong here, bro.
No. We have standards.
Yeah, you're not gay enough to be gay. Get the fuck out.
There's a certain level of fabulosity that you need.
You're not nearly gay enough.
It's like, wait a minute, they make us an unfabulous? Really?
Yeah, if you meet a gay guy that doesn't have good fashion sense, he's fucking posing, man. He's faking it. Every gay guy I know is well dressed, man. All of them.
That's true.
I don't fucking get it. They're all happy and they dress well. How the fuck is it like that?
The good
right? I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
The good Lord has to give us some advantages in life.
You got the edge. Like all the good fashion designers, they're fucking gay.
Yeah.
Right? All of them, you know.
Well, maybe is Ralph Lauren?
He's heterosexual. I think he's not gay. He probably fucking gave her a whirl, though.
Had to give it a whirl. Got to test
Honorary
it out.
Gay. For his tasteful use of color.
There's this guy in the fucking army way a long time ago. He sucked some guy's dick. And he goes, well, I just wanted to try it. I'm not gay. I'm like, the fuck? You're not gay, man.
No. Once does not make you gay.
I've never wanted to try that, though.
No, me, right? Like, no.
We are not going, as a gay man, we are
with
not
good fashion sense and always happy.
We are not going to. We are not going to.
Maybe he's bisexual then.
No.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
For experimentation and just wanting to taste the rainbow to see if that's okay.
That's why I love Freddie Mercury.
Once does not make you gay.
Freddie Mercury could go to a party and fuck anybody he wanted to.
And if you haven't tried it once yet,
he doubled his chances. Like there's an advantage to being bisexual, man. You can show up. Well, she don't like me, but that dude does. Let's go.
Bisexuals are just greedy. Sorry.
Right? Is that what you said it?
A friend of mine one night, we're having a couple of drinks.
Leave some for the rest of us.
We're in a pub, we're having a couple of drinks, and she goes, oh, she's hot. And I go, what'd you say? She goes, she's hot. I go,
not a she.
What? She goes, oh, I didn't tell you? I'm like, what? She goes, I came to the realization I'm bisexual. I'm like, oh, okay. She goes,
good on you.
Oh, you're fine with that? I'm like, I don't give a shit. I didn't get what you were saying there.
Oh, the chick. I love bisexual women, buddy.
And then she says, here's the best part. I never have to go home alone. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, they double their chances. You know what? I got to tell you guys a fucking funny story. It's funny story time about the trans, whatever, the trans people. Okay, so we're in this fucking bar in Edmonton, and there's this chick, and my buddy's dancing with her, and he comes back, he goes, I think that's a dude. So I go dance with her. I'm like, I think it's a dude. And anyways, my other buddy Pete is making out with her in the corner, and we asked the bartender, and oh yeah, no, that's a guy. And my buddy Anthony goes, we got to go tell Pete. I said, no, he's having a good time. Like, let him go for a bit. We'll tell him later.
Let him have fun.
So we fucking waited till he came back. And I said, hey, that's a dude you're making out with. He lost his shit. I said, well, why are you upset? Did you have fun? Did you get a half chub? Yeah. Then what the fuck's the problem, man? Don't worry about it. He goes, I felt like I was deceived.
Did you ask?
But he got he was gonna fucking beat the shit out of me because he knew I knew before, and I let him go. He goes, when did you find that out? I'm like, half an hour ago. But you were fucking.
It was way funnier this way.
You're doing pretty good. I'm not gonna come wreck your shit. Like, you know.
Kids and Cubs, here's an important life lesson. A friend will tell you. A good friend will tell you. Eventually.
Exactly. Thank you. I told him eventually after he was done.
Yeah.
And I never let it go, man. It's like a year later. We're having a big barbecue. He's out telling these young guys this war stories and shit. And I just opened the door. I'm like, Pete, tell him the time you made out with that dude. He's like, fuck you. He comes chasing me in the house. I kissed a boy and I liked it. And then I met his fucking fiance, Michelle. They were getting married. And I said, Pete, did you tell her? He's like, what? You didn't tell her. And he goes, you shut the fuck up right now. I said, no, I'm going to tell her. I said, did Pete ever tell you the time he made it with that dude? And I ran out the door. I'm telling her. I'm telling all of them. He's like, he goes, you can't fucking remember what you did last week, but you can never forget that this happened. I'm like, that's correct, man. It's weird how the brain works.
That one is seared into the brain.
The brain works in strange ways.
It does. No, it's working strange ways. You think about shit that you remember from a billion years ago.
Yeah.
But you don't even know what the fuck you. I'm like, what did I say to my girlfriend last night? She's really mad at me. I don't remember.
Well, the worst part is now it's like, what did I walk into this room for?
Oh, man, yeah. Have you ever walked around looking for your keys that are in your fucking hand? Oh, okay, yeah, we're good.
No, but I have done this.
Yeah, where's my glasses?
My glasses.
They're on your head. No, I was walking around looking for my keys. This is a few years ago. They're like literally in my fucking hand. I'm like, okay, buddy, you gotta take a minute. And there's got to be some drug for this. Good times.
Good times.
Anyways, tampons should be free.
Tampons should be free. That's the
all that to say.
Make that Mark Carney's campaign slogan.
I'm gonna call him.
Well, he's from
How long are you guys staying on?
I don't know till we don't have to.
People feel like you guys are retarded for fucking out. Sorry, wrong word. I know it's sensitive in Ontario. I need to go have another dart. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries, brother.
Text that fucking Lindley. I want to see how his trip's going.
Well, see if I can get a hold of him. He said he was going to try and find a better Wi-Fi spot.
He's the guy. Anybody looking for a complete podcast setup, he's selling it this week. And then next week, he's like, no, I'm coming back on. I'm going to do it. You can't.
Oh, really?
Not do it. Yeah, Ryan's. He's too good.
I'm like, don't tell him.
He's too talented to not
agreed
do what he does.
Yeah, agreed.
But he gets him pissed off and shit. And then he's like, fuck it, I'm done. And then a week later, he'll call me, we got to do a pod. I'm like, okay, let's do a pod. You know, no, he's too talented to not. Okay,
he's way too talented to just walk away from it.
Yeah, he's good. He's too good.
We just need to find his thing that he can stay with for a while.
Oh man, he's like a fucking squirrel. Then 1 week it's this, and next week it's that, but he's good. He's got too much talent. To be continued. I'll be right back.
All right, brother. He's absolutely right about that, though. I think it would be sad if he sold all his gear because it's like, bro, you're good at this.
Really good.
You should keep doing it. Like, I understand that maybe it's just, you've walked away, so there's no revenue for it right now. But it's like, come back when you're ready. Don't sell your stuff, because if you do, then it's gone, and you got to buy it again when you decide you're going to do it again. And you shouldn't, take time off when you need to take time off, and come back when you're ready. You're good, and we're better for knowing you, for that matter. So yeah,
absolutely. Sorry, just little synchronized drink. Well, almost synchronized drinking.
Well, these are light beer. They're only like 4%, and they're also the cheapest beer on the menu. So I'm on a budget, right? So man, that was a good sized steak, though.
It was.
she served that up, and I'm like, that had to be like a 12, 14 ounce steak.
10.
It was 10.
Well, it says 10, but
it looked way bigger
than
a 10.
Than a 10.
Yeah, that looked way bigger than a 10 ounce steak. And not only
big-ass mushrooms.
Not only was it big, but it's like an inch thick, you know. So yeah,
exactly, and it's not like little button mushrooms.
No, it's actual proper, like proper mushrooms.
Big-ass mushrooms.
Yeah,
that's what they call them. Mr. Beaver's big-ass mushrooms.
I don't even know how to say. Mr. Beaver's big ass mushrooms. Okay,
buy them now.
Why not? Sure. I just, I didn't quite see that one coming, but big ass mushrooms.
Big ass mushrooms. Sorry, my mouth is full. You have to talk.
My mouth is full. That's quite all right. Yeah. So.
I love my next sex tape.
Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty! Fuck. I should. No, oh, God. No, he's literally sitting right here beside me. See, you got to lean over. Oh, there. What did you drop?
This time, my knife.
Oh, okay.
When Chris made me really laugh earlier,
there he is. Yeah,
fork.
he's just sitting right beside me. It's just easier this way because I can control the cameras better. That's why we did it like that.
I have to go get another knife.
No, there's more here. Oh, is it a steak knife?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different. Then you can go to there's a sink and soap right there if you want to give it a wash.
Yeah, that might be a smarter idea, so I can still cut. All right. Well, we'll be back after these messages.
All righty. I was gonna text James and see if he wants to join in. I'll just send him a message here.
I'm gonna have to slither down and get it.
Yeah, careful there.
Here I go. Bye.
Oh shit! I bumped the mic there. Let me just. I'm going to send James a message and see if he wants to join in. Oh, I got 2 messages here. I didn't even check. Sorry. I've been busy. What's this? Okay. Let me just punch it up here, and I'll send him. There we go. I'll send him a link if he wants to join us. Come on. Just going to say, we are PubCasting. Want to join? I want to join. And I'll go there. And then I'll just put the link in. And I'll send that off. If he wants to join, he can join. So back.
Like magic.
I realize that the older I get, the less laws and rules I follow.
Oh, I hear you.
Like it's fucking 2 a.m. You're not drunk. I'm driving home. I mean, it's some bullshit intersection in the middle of the night. No one's there. It's a red light. Fuck it. I'm going through it. Unless there's a camera. And so yesterday I bought a new helmet for parachuting, right? Because I jump out of planes. I still like doing that. And I sent a picture to my buddy Tim, who ramrods Operation Pegasus jump in Campbell River every summer. He goes, "Yeah, you can't jump with a GoPro on." I'm like, "Why?
Why not?"
Because according to Canadian Sports Parachute Association, who covers the insurance,
right,
you have to have 200 jumps and this other bullshit. I'm like, what? So the Army will throw me out of a plane at 1,200 feet in pitch black at nighttime with 150 pounds of shit hanging off my nuts and a rifle and snowshoes, but I can't jump with a GoPro on my fucking helmet from 3,500 feet at 10,000 feet. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's okay. I'm not doing that. I just ignore dumb rules, man. Some rules and some laws are stupid. I'm not saying I'm an outlaw or a criminal. I'm just saying some shit is dumb.
Well, and I get why it's in place for most people, but in your case, hello,
it's stupid. It's the same. Let's get into guns, since I'm a redneck from Alberta that drives a truck by himself and wears camouflage. Okay, you have to have all your guns like triple locked up, and then fucking everything's illegal and shit now. So you can't have your gun like on your nightstand.
Right.
Why? It's under my care and control. Like when I leave my house, I lock it up when I'm home. How do you clean the gun? Like, how do you clean it? Like, you're supposed to fucking lock your guns up. Well, what's the fucking point then?
Well, that was the whole Jim Jerome bit when he goes, I'm a responsible gun owner. I keep my guns locked in a safe. Well, then they're not for emergencies.
Yeah.
He says you can see them at the safe. What? Your mother's birthday? I don't fucking remember that.
I'll
you
tell
just
you
wait
what,
right there.
I'll tell you what, because people automatically assume, especially people from Ontario, that every fucking guy that lives in Alberta that wears camo, has a short haircut, is white, drives a pickup truck, is a gun nut. You can't take my guns. I'm like, first of all, let me tell you something right now. I believe in gun control.
Yeah, I know.
Not to the fucking extreme that we're at. I don't think every asshole and his dog should have a gun.
Nope.
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
Not at all. Like, I'll give you an example. Have I done this before? I'm having deja vu, Paul.
Maybe.
I got a friend, I won't mention his or her name, wanted to have a handgun. I'm like, why? You live in a fucking secured apartment. Like, you're good. You don't need a gun. And you go take this 2-day bullshit course. Like, when I trained on weapons from basic training, it's a natural extension of my body. It's like carrying a wrench, right?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. For weeks and fucking weeks and obviously continuation. And any civvy can go take some 2-day course and bam, good to go. Here, you can go buy a pistol.
No.
Back when you could. So my friend was at my house and I said, I'm going to prove my point right now. So I grabbed one of my handguns. I got a couple. And I loaded it and I racked it and I handed it to them with the barrel pointing at me and they freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
I went, that's exactly why you shouldn't have a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Like, no way, man. So I have no idea where we're going with this. I'm just trying to keep the conversation fucking flowing. I don't think everybody should have a gun.
No, and I agree with you.
Nor do I think the government should be banning all these fucking things. # Black Guns Matter. Okay, fuck you.
Well, I think things are about to change with what's happening south of the border and how the annexation talk. Things might change. I don't know.
I don't think so. I'm going to tell
and
you
I don't
why
want to get into that,
so.
but
no politician, whether it's left or right, understand that gun owners in Canada represent 3% of the population.
That's right.
So what fucking politician is going to go to bat for 3%? They don't roll like that. That's not happening. It's not going to happen.
And
at best, they're going to bin the buyback thing, which is a joke. Like, they keep extending it, and it's going to cost fucking billions of dollars. And they're just going to say, "Okay, Chris, you got an AR-15. It's now prohibited. You can't take it or use it anywhere." Okay, fine. Because by the time I need my AR-15, I'm not worried about a government. It doesn't exist.
No, exactly.
Whatever. We got bigger problems.
We got much bigger problems. Yeah.
So, like,
and I agree with you.
And hey, don't get me wrong. Justin Trudeau said, you don't need an AR-15 to take down a deer. And then he hired all these Australians to kill all these fucking deer in BC who used, guess what, AR-15.
Jesus.
Why didn't you just let the fucking local people go hunting?
Yeah.
Nope. Hired a third party. I think it was Aussies, and they're fucking flying in helicopters, whacking all these fucking overpopulated deer with AR-15s.
Isn't there's an ancient indigenous saying? He who needs an automatic weapon is a terrible hunter.
They're not wrong. Oh, the indigenous population of Canada gets to keep their 50 calibers and AR-15s because of their hunting treaty shit.
A 50 caliber for hunting, though? What are you hunting? Elephants?
This is my point. So on one hand, he said you don't need an AR-15 to take down a deer, which you don't, because it's the worst fucking rifle for deer hunting as a hunter. But it's okay. This demographic can keep him. Well, what are we talking about here? Anyway, we're getting political. Let's move on. You're never taking my guns. Berta free. No. So not everybody and their dog needs a fucking gun. Trust me.
What time are we? We are 5. We're gonna have to shut down soon. I just got word from the owner. There's a party in here at 6 in this space.
Oh, good time.
Yeah, there's a live band, live musicians. So
I appreciate
we'll wrap it up.
Today.
Yeah. No, thanks for coming by, buddy. This was a lot of fun. I always enjoy having a chat with you because
it's the longest I've ever been on.
Yes.
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, man. I'm down anytime.
Well, we do the
podcast. Hear what's
once
going on out west? I'm your Western correspondent.
West Coast correspondent. Hell yeah.
All right, I'm gonna punch. You guys can wrap. Thank
all
you
right, brother.
For everybody who watched. Sorry I can't read all the comments. I'm fucking going blind and shit. And I had a really good time. And let me know when you guys want to do this again.
We'll do, sir. Sometime next month. We do it once a month. We do it. So yeah, well, I'll give you a heads up like a few days in advance. Say, hey, we're going to be doing it on this day, and if you can make it, great. Always love having you.
Okay, appreciate you guys. We'll chat soon.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, take care.
Well,
big hugs.
That was a good time. Good times. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up because it takes me about an hour to tear down, and there's a party coming in here at 6. So that was just the owner let me know. So appreciate each and every one of you for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun. We really do appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody who's tuned in online, all the comments, the folks watching on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And you know, if you can, if you want to, I forgot to put this up. If you want to join the chat, just join us on the. I forgot to put that up today. I was just so engaged in the conversation that I wasn't paying attention to my production thing. Although, because this is a mobile studio, I don't have all the same stuff in front of me that I have at home. So I sometimes get a little distracted. This was one of those times. So thank you very much for joining. We really do appreciate it. And for those watching on different formats in the future, just join us at youtube.com/@truenortheagerbeaver where we broadcast Monday to Friday, usually around 7 a.m. Sometimes
7:10-ish.
When we have tech issues, sometimes it goes a little bit later and a little bit longer, but that's all good. So Monday to Fridays, 7 a.m., we usually broadcast around 7:10-ish. And we do this once a month. We have the PubCast once a month, which is a day we come in here, hang out, chat with one another, and avoid as much. It's the topic of conversation is not politics. Every now and then it gets a little political, but we try and just ease back and get out of it because we just want to, hang out in the pub and talk about life, travel, trips, places we've been, things we've done, people we've met, concerts we've seen.
Oh, no, sorry. No, not that. We don't talk about that.
No, we're not talking about that.
Places to be, people to do, no, things to do, people. Sorry, I always get those two mixed up. Sorry.
If you want to wrap it up, I don't know if you want to wrap it up or not, of the sponsorship and all that.
That's my next.
Yeah, okay. All
sex
right.
tape.
If you want to wrap it up, that's your sex tape.
Yep.
Okay.
I have 2 of them coming out.
I get the title. I get the title. All right.
Kids and guns. By the way, thank you so much for your contributions in the chat, especially when we're talking about health-related stuff. There's a lot of you that shared some experiences about having cellulitis or knowing people with them and whatnot. And, thank you for that. Some interesting comments here with regard to tampons. For the men who happen to be watching, take a picture of what tampon she uses and keep it on your phone, suggests Kit Linda. Kit Saucy says, keep the picture of the tampon box as your background picture. That way you never have to wonder. Hey, the kids are being helpful.
See, one of the beautiful things about having a partner who is menopausal is...
lots of love for Chris here in the chat as well. Thank you so much. Lots of yays for 3 men talking about tampons. So lots of good stuff. Unfortunately, didn't get far enough in the chat to see what it is when Army Chris was saying, if you've got any thoughts about that, chime in. So unfortunately, I can't bring those to you. I was a little behind on the chat.
We'll talk about it later.
But hey, kids and cubs, that's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver Morning Show, or the Eager Beaver. Well, it's not the Daily Beaver podcast, right? It's the True North Eager Beaver podcast.
Correct.
Here at the Lieutenant's Pub.
361 Elgin Street in beautiful downtown Ottawa.
Exactly.
Come on by, have a pint, sit at the bar, say hello to some friends.
Yes, and when we do our next one, feel free to drop in.
We love to have guests. I always have 2 mics set up, and I got a 3rd camera set up for folks because I thought somebody might come by. Don't know. You never know. I set up for it. And here's the thing. I remember one time I set up for just the 2 of us, and then people showed up, and I'm like, I scrambled to put it together. So I set it up no matter what. If people show up, great. And if not, no worries. We always have, guests that come on online, and it was a good day. It was a good day. We got to wrap it up, though, because I really got to tear this down.
Exactly. And for those of you, clearly you've seen over the course of the show, you did help. So I'm way happier and chipper and more energetic than I was when I started the show. And that's all because of you. So thank you very, 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 very much for bringing some sunshine into my day personally.
Laughter is good for the soul.
Laughter is good for the soul. We loved making this, and we hope that you loved watching us. So please tell your peeps and poops all about us. And if you would like to make sure you do not miss an episode, our podcasts are not in podcast. Those are YouTube exclusive only. But if you don't want to miss an episode of our regular show, then you need to go to our pod page, podpage.com/the truenortheagerbeaver with a hyphen between each one of those words. Click subscribe, and when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, it comes directly to you. If you would like to help us out in other ways, then please make like Kit Elaine and surf yourself on down to the True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube page and click on our buttons like, share, and subscribe, as 14,000 of you have. We just crossed the 14,000 mark. So thank you so much for all of you who have been doing that and joining us. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate that you took the time to send us some little love, because when you subscribe, it does help us with the algorithm. We're at 14,026 right now, so more of you have joined as we have been doing this. So thank you so very much. If you would like to help us in other ways, because we do incur some costs to bring these shows to you, we do have a tip jar. We like to call it the Eager Beaver Lodge Emergency Hydration Fund, because every day we fight against the scourge of dry beaver. So if you would like to make sure and you're doing your part to keep your beaver moist, then if you see that QR code there, and that brings you to our tip jar at our coffee page. That's coffee, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, all in one word, lowercase letters, although uppercase, lowercase doesn't matter. If you leave us a little coinage there, thank you so very much, as a few of you have, and we will be giving you a shout out on our regular show when we get back. Of course, the QR code that's just below me is the one that will bring you to our pod page if you scan that. All right. And that's, that one there is the coffee page. Is it right? Yeah, exactly. So if you can leave us a little something, that would be much appreciated. And please know that every donation to the Eager Beaver Lodge Emergency Hydration Fund comes with a free pack of Mr. Beaver's Big Ass Mushrooms. Not really.
I'm not paying for that.
Not really.
Don't joke about those.
But it does increase your sex appeal by 17.2%.
Okay.
That we did study in our labs. Trust. Listen, every time you donate, you get sexier. Look at all you beautiful people out there.
All righty.
Wink. All right. That's all we have for you. Mr. Grizzly, do you have some words of wisdom?
No words of wisdom. It's a PubCast, man. Just chilling like a villain, having a good time on a Saturday afternoon with my bud. With my other bud. Just go out, have a good time, enjoy your weekend. I have a birthday party I have to go to this evening. So
fun.
Yeah, it's and go figure, it's going to be at another pub.
The big exciting thing for me for the rest of the weekend is going out and buying some new curling shoes. So apparently, I did not know this, but apparently the curling shop's closed for the summer. So the Gold Line store in Ottawa is only open until next week. So I got to go now, or else I won't be able to get in.
Closes for the summer?
They close for the entire summer, it seems.
But aren't the curling rinks open year round?
No.
Oh.
No. Ours closes on April 13th, and then they melt all the ice, and then they put pickleball courts in.
Oh.
For the summer.
Well, at least they're using the venue.
Yeah. Because there's a bar and everything, right? So they keep it going, and then that reduces the fees for us in the following year. All of the support that you can give is very, very much appreciated. Of course, as you know, tiny little bit of politics. We're expecting the writ to be drawn tomorrow, possibly. So Monday, when we start the show,
we'll talk about it either way.
Yeah, exactly. But we will have we will be in some exciting times if everything goes according to plan. But for now, we are still not there. So it's still time to party like it's 2025. All right. That's all I got. Have a beaverific weekend, everyone. And thank you for making me feel better.
Thanks for coming out. We'll see you soon.